to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for what could be an historic stream. This could be one that goes down in the history books. The reason why I say that is because it's a little bit up in the air as to whether Joe Biden is going to be addressing the US people. The rumors are, the reports are that he is looking at and thinking about making an announcement in about an hour's time. That's certainly what was reported earlier here in the UK. Haven't seen the news for the past hour or so, so I don't know if that's changed. But obviously this is an ever-changing situation. And again, look, we're not getting political. I understand that it's going to be difficult to avoid people sharing their political views at such a divisive time. But regardless of whoever was going to be making this speech, it is still historic. It is still a big moment, like one of the big moments of 2020. One of the big moments in the history of America in many ways. So, yeah, I think that you're going to have to forgive us if this is going to obviously distract a little bit. There's a real good chance. I mean, I've just been reading that there's a good chance that Smackdown gets pulled off the air. There's a real chance that what they could do in America, I don't think they'll do it here in the UK because it's on a sports channel. So I don't think they're going to interrupt that for a Joe Biden speech over here. So I think we'll be fine over here. But over in America on the Fox channel, I don't know if SmackDown would get interrupted or if they would move SmackDown or what they would do. So I have actually seen some reports coming out from some news articles coming out from some wrestling journalists that have actually looked to see what's on FS1 and what's on the other Fox channels in case they do move SmackDown to an alternative channel. So good chance that things just stay as they are. Good chance that nothing actually drastic happens and SmackDown just goes ahead as usual. But yeah, I am definitely going to be keeping an eye on that situation, regardless of what does happen. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit exciting. It's a little bit weird as well, as I said, because you don't quite know what to expect. We don't know if SmackDown's going to get moved. We don't know. It's quite dramatic in many ways. That's why I'm saying this is quite a historic stream. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you are well, and I hope that you are excited for what is ahead. I have got a few things to run through in regards to the lineup tonight. It doesn't look like the strongest lineup, if I'm being honest. We do have a women's title match, though. That's the big talking point. Bayley versus Sasha is on the show tonight. Kind of hoping that there won't be any skullduggery, nothing silly. It's just going to be a really solid, really good match with a clean finish. I doubt we'll get that, but that's what I'm hoping for. As well as that, we got a couple of qualifying matches as well. We've got Seth Rollins versus Otis, and we've got Rey Mysterio versus King Corbin. Those are two qualifying matches for the Survivor Series team. The other thing as well is that Carmella has come out and said, you're going to find out why I'm untouchable tonight. So don't know what that means. But yeah, heavily teasing that she is going to be on the show as well. But yeah, if you are just joining us, the big news is that last I saw, Joe Biden was saying, or the rumors were, that he was going to be doing a speech in about an hour's time. So as we said, this is an ever-changing situation, right? This is an ever-changing situation. I don't think he'll do it until one of the networks, like, awards him that 270 that he's after, that both are after. I don't think that's certainly what they're saying over here. They're saying that it's scheduled for that, but he might just be hesitant to do it until it's concrete. So we'll have to see. Big hour. Robin says, have you watched Dragunov versus Volta yet? I have, yes. I have watched it. And I thought it was very good. I thought it was exceptional. I mean, yeah, what everyone's saying. The only caveat is that I had some lag right at the end. I was watching it, and right at the end, I'm not making it up, right at the end, like literally a minute or two before it finished, it lagged. So I don't know if that just took me out of it a little bit. Also, because there'd been so much hype, so much talk, that by the time I got to it, your expectations are already like high. So for me, it wasn't quite a 5-star match, and it could be a 5-star match. I've got no problems with anyone saying that it's a 5-star match. You'll get no complaints out of me. The fact that we're even talking about isn't it, shows how great the match is. For me, it isn't. I think that the fact that I'd heard about it beforehand, I think the fact that I had a little bit of lag right at the end of the match. But I think more than that, the fact that I didn't feel that Volta was really pushed to his limit. For me, the fact that like Volta, I still feel had quite a few gears to go. It was a match really about Dragunov being pushed to his limit. It was very hard hitting. It was a match about violence, big chops. I mean, like Dragunov had to be helped up to his feet. And honestly looked like he had some serious neck injuries. I mean, obviously he was selling, and he was selling amazingly well. It's just incredible. So many positives, so much good stuff. There were some beautiful sequences in the match as well. Some real moments where, like, you know, it really went through the gears. It started off quite fast and then really settled into a groove. And then there was some nice sequences in the middle, and then, like, you know, you built towards the end, but violence all throughout. And as I said, yeah, for me, didn't quite hit the 5 stars, but no problems, no qualms if anyone thinks that it did. So I think I'd be settled on about 4.5, something about that ballpark. Maybe 4.5, 4.75, one of those. But very, very enjoyable match. Definitely check it out on the network if you haven't seen it yet. Eric, shout out to you. Days, I deleted my 7-year running channel. I'm starting a wrestling one. Any advice? Do things that you enjoy and stick with it. That's the best bits of advice. I know they're very generic, but if you enjoy it, it's going to help with the second bit of advice, which is the stick with it bit. Because uploading on a regular basis and enjoying what you do. If you enjoy what you do, it comes across. There's a lot of channels that I watch that seems just very generic. I say a lot of channels. I never really go back and revisit them. But they're just, the passion doesn't seem to be there. You can't really connect with the video itself, and I just think that, like, their enthusiasm doesn't come through. In fact, look at my early videos. If you go back and watch, like, my early videos, if I'd have stuck with that, it wouldn't have worked, because I really wanted to get my points across. So I was very direct. I wasn't having any fun. I wasn't letting my personality out. I wasn't being myself. I was literally just like, okay, this is who I think's going to win the Royal Rumble. And I was just like going through and my points are fine. Like, the things I wanted to say are fine, but I was just so, please listen to what I'm saying. Like, I think what I've got to say is, like, interesting. Listen to this, yeah? And but that doesn't work. So make sure you're enjoying it. Make sure you're being yourself. Get your personality across and stick with it. Moda. Yeah. Shout out to you, dude. We'll get the wonderful woman to read that out, shall we? Days, did you hear Alex Zane might be heading to WWE? I did, yes. I just saw that news report. Be interesting. Hello, Hayden. Hope you are well. Again, just waiting for... She always takes her time. She's slower than Nevada.
Anonymous is a legend. They donated $10 via a super chat. Police light. Days, hope you are well, friend. In announcer voice, this Monday Moda comes to the Thunderdome. Will chaos ensue, or will Moda restore order to the Thunderdome?
Will chaos ensue, or will Moda restore order? You going into the Thunderdome on Monday, are you? Have a great time, my friend. Enjoy that. I saw that they were still saying there was a few spots left for the Thunderdome. So yeah, very cool. Have fun. Hayden, it looks like she doesn't like you.
Hayden Garrett is a legend. They donated $2 New Zealand via a super chat. Hey Days, how are you doing, my friend?
I am good, thank you. She does like breaking news, Hayden. Turns out she does like you. So there we go. Shout out to you, Hayden. So yeah, we've got quite a few bits that are coming up. A few bits to discuss. One of the things that's coming up is the Paul Bearer documentary. That is going to drop on Sunday, and how amazing does that look? Loads of behind-the-scenes footage. Undertaker, brand new sit-down interview with him, talking about the impact that Paul Bearer had. There's a little clip doing the rounds on social media where Undertaker says if it wasn't for Paul Bearer, he doesn't think that it would have took off as quick as what it did. He really credits Paul Bearer for a large part of the early success, and you know, the fact that it got to the heights that it did. I have to agree. I think Undertaker coming down on his own would have been fine, but Paul Bearer added so much. So much. You know, the whole urn aspect was huge. It was huge. Like, what was in the urn, the mystery of that. A large part of the success of wrestling is like mystery and theory, and you're seeing all of that with the Firefly Funhouse. People love sharing their thoughts about that, and it makes you feel more connected to the character because you're thinking about the character, you're trying to figure stuff out, and it makes you feel a part of it. And that was the exact same thing with Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer with, you know, the urn. What was in the urn? How did that urn have this mystical, magical power to make the Undertaker rise up when he had just taken a battering, you know? So, yeah, it was a big part of it. Big part. And plus also you just hadn't seen, like, a manager like that. Like, managers around that time you had were big and loud, and Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jimmy Hart, you know, Harvey Wimpleman. They're all, like, big talkers on the microphone. Jim Cornette around that time as well. But then you had, like, Paul Bearer, who was so different. So different. He had, obviously, the squeaky voice squealing away. And he couldn't have managed anyone else at the start. Like, he couldn't have had a stable. He was just for The Undertaker, and they just knocked it out the park, man. Of course, he would go on to manage some other people, including Mankind and Kane. But by that point, The Undertaker was well established. But for those early years, wouldn't have worked if you'd have given him, you know, if you'd have shared Paul Bearer with other people, because Paul Bearer, the look, the urn, everything just tied in with The Undertaker. So really genuinely looking forward to that. I love the legends. I love anything to do with that early 90s period. And man, yeah, can't wait. So I think that's Sunday on the network. Obviously they're doing different Undertaker related shows every weekend. We're building towards a sit-down interview with Stone Cold, and that could be very interesting. He's already spoke to Stone Cold once before, but he's going back. I've no idea what they're going to explore. I don't know if they're going to touch on a few questions from the fans or what they're going to do, but I mean, look, it doesn't matter, does it? You can do. There's so much to dig into with The Undertaker, no pun intended. But yeah, really looking forward to all of those, including that Paul Bearer one. The other thing of note as well that we should touch on, just talking about mystery theory, all that kind of stuff. They sent a message out saying The Undertaker had faced all challenges and had mentioned a few names like Kane and, you know, Mankind and whatever. And Bray Wyatt sent a tweet out saying, not quite all. Which obviously has got people very excited. So, yeah, heavily teasing that, you know, he's keeping an eye on The Undertaker. I don't know if it's any more than that. I've got to be honest, when it comes to, like, the Twitter stuff, I take it with a pinch of salt. There's so many times that something's been said on Twitter and nothing comes of it. It gets to the point where you're like, I'll just believe it when I see it. I do think they would do something between Undertaker and Fiend, because I think it would be too much of a missed opportunity. I can't see why you would have them. Although saying that, why did they never do Hogan Ric Flair? Like, I know it's completely different, and I know it's many, many years ago, but the biggest guy in NWA was Ric Flair, right? I mean, you can argue he's the biggest name in wrestling history. So, like, Ric Flair of the NWA. And then in WWF at the time, you had Hulkamania. When Ric Flair came into WWF, first thing he was doing was calling out Hulk Hogan. First thing he did. He came into WWF in 91, and he was calling out Hulk Hogan. He was like, it's time to see who the man is. Hogan, I'm coming for you, kind of a thing. You know, the real world's champion, all of this kind of stuff. So from the get-go, out the gate, boom. It's all this talk about Hogan Flair. And it builds towards WrestleMania 8. And you get Hogan versus Sid. And you get Flair versus Macho Man. So, as much as we can sit here and say, why wouldn't they do it? There is a history of them having really, really obvious things, and then they don't do them. Like Sting Undertaker. Never got Sting. Both guys in WWF, both under contract. Vince, if he wanted it, could have done it. No problem whatsoever. Never happened. Never got Sting Undertaker, even though they were both at WrestleMania 31. They were both at the same show. And they were in different matches. So again, you know, you look at Hogan Flair, you look at Undertaker and Sting. And there's many, many other examples than that. But yeah, with this one, I think it might be a little different because we're not proposing a match. We're just asking for a moment. We're just asking for a face-to-face. But I wouldn't say it's a foregone conclusion. I wouldn't say it's absolutely guaranteed. So, yeah, hopefully we get it. I would like to see it, those two face-to-face. And, of course, you know, Taker would have to put the Fiend over. But, yeah, it'd still be a great moment. Have you watched any New Japan? Yeah, not much this year. I've seen a few bits. And, of course, I did a whole watch-along for the 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom earlier in the year. And we'll do Wrestle Kingdom again in January. Tends to be about the 4th of January every year. So we will do that again, but I didn't get a chance to watch the G1, and I really did want to, but yeah, didn't get a chance to watch that. Hall of Fame Undertaker, says Brendan. Yeah, he'll definitely go in. A few people have said he should go in on his own, but I don't know if it needs to. I don't know if he needs to. I mean, if you think about the only person that's ever gone in on their own is Andre the Giant, and that's because it was the first year. Every other year, there's been a class. I don't know if I mean, you look at Stone Cold. He went in with other people. Hogan went in with other people. Ric Flair went in with other people. Like Undertaker going in on his own. I mean, you could do it, and no one's going to object. But no, I think he'd go in with a class. It is reported that John Cena is going to return tonight to help Daniel confront the Usos and Roman. Would you like to see this happen? Only if he turns heel, to be honest. I mean, like, Cena coming back's great. It's going to create a bit of buzz. But there needs to be an outcome. There needs to be something that comes out of that Funhouse match. That WrestleMania thing has to have something connected to it. We can't just move on with our lives. Do you know what I mean? Like, surely he's a heel now. After going through what he went through at WrestleMania, surely he's a heel now.
Anonymous is a legend. They donated $10 via a super chat. Days, don't forget Stone Cold worked some at the Sportatorium with Percy Pringle before he became Paul Bearer. I'm sure he'll have stories about working with him as well. Should be an amazing interview.
Really good shout, yeah, really good shout. Percy Pringle was the name of Paul Bearer when he was out of WWE. And he managed a few different superstars. I'll be honest, my knowledge of Percy Pringle isn't that strong. And that's something that I definitely will be looking forward to finding a bit more out about, is his Percy Pringle. I mean, I know him as Paul Bearer. And I know, obviously, everything we saw on camera with Paul Bearer. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to the Percy Pringle stuff and the behind-the-scenes stuff. The stuff that, you don't... unseen footage. But a really good shout. Yeah, really good shout. Percy Pringle. So exciting to just even mention Percy Pringle on the stream. Like, that's really cool. How about Stan versus Steph Rollins? What do you think will happen between Murphy and Tuck? Don't know. Perhaps he'll take her to the cinema. Perhaps he'll take her to the cinema and they'll go and watch the new Disney film, whatever that is. I don't know. I have no idea. Like, they've already kissed. Are they just going to kiss again? Maybe he puts her through the announce table. That would be cool. Maybe he goes full on Nia Jax Lana. Just hurls her through the announce table. Anna Dawes, shout out to you. Never mind Hogan, Flair, or Sting Undertaker. It's the epic encounter between Eva and Lana that we all want, says Martin. What time does SmackDown start? Starts in 40 minutes. Word Life Cena versus Brock Party is my dream match, says BOD Talks. Miss Khan 1 says Cena works well as a heel. Other things that I've got written down are apparently AEW and WWE are both interested in Davey Boy Smith Jr. So he's been competing in MLW and he's been doing really well. They've been on shutdown recently, but before they went down on shutdown, he was doing really, really well. And he was in New Japan before that as well. So he's got bags of experience. He's going to be a good person to bring in as well for the UK market. Because obviously you can heavily promote that he's the son of the British Bulldog. So, you can do something there. And obviously with that, like the Drew McIntyre thing, that's kind of an interesting dynamic as well. So, like you could have them feuding, you could have them in a tag team, you could do loads of stuff. So, or you could just drop him into NXT UK if you want to, so much buzz around that Volta Dragunov match. Big rumours that they're looking to bring in Miko Satomura from Japan, who is an absolute veteran, an absolute legend of women's wrestling. I think you would put her in the top 100 women's wrestlers of all time. So if they bring her in, they are getting experience, they are getting legitimacy, they are getting such a talent. Her matches in the Mae Young Classic were brilliant. I actually went to an indie show here in the UK, which it was run by Trent Seven. He's got his own indie promotion called Fight Club Pro. I actually went to one of his shows just to see Miko Satomura, who he'd managed to book for his show. So yeah, I'd love it if they do get Miko, and maybe they'll get Davey Boy Smith Jr. and drop him in there as well, and all of a sudden, you're bringing in a few people, plus you've got Volta, Dragunov. Granted, you've lost Pete Dunne. You probably have lost Tyler Bate as well, I'd imagine. Trent Seven, not so sure. I'd feel like it would need a bit more than that, but it's a good starting point. So, yeah, apparently AEW are interested as well. The other thing, the other report I saw, and this is a bit left field, but I thought people will like to know this. I don't know if you saw the reports that Dana Brooke had been dating Batista. They were dating. There's even a little rumor that they were dating before those tweets went out. Like, that was them having a bit of fun, but they were actually already dating. So that was interesting. But apparently they're not dating anymore. Dana Brooke has actually got a new boyfriend. She says that their schedules just didn't work out. So, yeah, there we go. So I thought that was quite interesting. I did wonder if anything came of that. So it's quite interesting to find out that they might have been dating already. Lauren says, I think Murphy will hit Tuck with a chair to show his love for her. That's how you do it. That's what the ladies love. Will Cena actually return tonight? To be honest, I haven't seen that rumour. So I can't put my name next to that. But if people are saying that they've heard it, then I mean, I do expect Cena to come back at some point. Would I expect him to come back now? Don't know, to be honest. I mean, like, for Survivor Series, maybe. It is one of the big. It is one of the big four, isn't it? Triple Threat Survivor Series qualifying match: Natalya versus Zelina versus Ruby Riott. Winner joins Bianca on the women's SmackDown team, plus Ray versus King Corbin, Otis, Seth, Bayley, Sasha. Has that triple threat been announced? Because I haven't seen it. If it's just, maybe it's just been announced. Natalya, Zelina, and Ruby. So there we go. I'll take your word for that. The other matches you mentioned, I have seen. So my sister Grace tells me that SmackDown sucks. Says Maria. Wow, your sister sucks. Yeah, say that. Say no. Actually, you suck. Yeah, I feel like such a mature adult. Sam, shout out to you, my friend. Hope you are well. Do you know about Fox gonna deliver? Oh, okay, I'll let the woman read it out. But that is interesting because I heard 8, so it's interesting that you're saying 9. But there's definitely talk that something's gonna happen. It's definitely talk things going down. I think there's a good chance he will. Yeah, I mean, I should be all right. I don't think it'll interrupt the feed here in the UK. I think it'll interrupt it for Fox.
Sam Piboon is a legend. They donated $4.99 via a super chat. Did you know about Fox will special news about the new president USA at 9 p.m.?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that announced. I heard rumours of something at 8. Haven't seen anything announced for that either. So as of about an hour and a half ago, nothing had been announced. But I did start this stream by saying that this could be historic. I did start this stream by saying I wouldn't be surprised if there was going to be an announcement from the Democrats. And yeah, the rumours were that it was going to be at 8 Eastern, which would be in about 33 minutes. Now, if that happens, I don't know what happens to SmackDown. I don't know if Fox are going to interrupt it. I would imagine that SmackDown will still go ahead because of international markets. So would it run on a different channel? Or what would happen? I'm not too sure. So I've got SmackDown on BT Sport here. I don't think that they would interrupt it in the UK. Of course, the whole world is keeping an eye on the news at the moment. So, yeah, tonight will be what tonight will be, you know. Obviously, that is going to take precedent over who's going to qualify for the Survivor Series teams. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they did interrupt it. But we'll have to wait and see. One of the candidates is going to speak, says FaZe Costas. Well, maybe he might be coming out to announce that he declaring himself the winner, which would be pretty huge. Who do you want to win the qualifying matches tonight? Mysterio, because I don't want Corbin, and probably Seth Rollins. I think it'd be interesting actually seeing Seth and Mysterio having to try and work together. Imagine that, them two on the same team. I could definitely see that happening. I could definitely see them then having to try and work together. Days, will you be watching Crawford versus Brooke? I've no plans to do that at the moment, but never say never. Let's put it that way. It depends what else is on at the same time. If it doesn't clash with anything, then there's a good chance. But yeah, there's no plans. The only boxing that I've got plans to watch is the Tyson fight, which is about 20 odd days away. So definitely got plans for that. But outside of that, nothing else. Fox News was like, no one cares about wrestling. Cora, shout out to you, my friend. Fox News has interrupted SmackDown before. Does it start at 1 a.m.? Yes, Karen, it starts in about half an hour. Smackdown. For those of you that are just joining us, Sasha Banks versus Bayley for the Women's Championship. We've got Otis versus Seth Rollins in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. We've got Rey Mysterio versus King Corbin in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. And we've also sure to see Roman. Lots of talk and rumours that Roman's going into a feud now with Daniel Bryan. Obviously, you know, Jey Uso beating up Daniel after that qualifying match last week. Daniel talking about how this is going to be his final run and how he wants it to have purpose. I think he's very much looking now at transitioning to the creative side and actually doing more of the booking and the writing and the producing. So I do expect him to have a run. And it could be about to get started with a little feud with Roman. So could be interesting. C Wrestling, shout out to you. C says, random theory. Now that Otis has lost everything, isn't that the time that people look to religion? Could he become a disciple to the Messiah? That's a really great theory. That's a really great theory. Has he lost Mandy Rose yet? I don't know if he's lost Mandy yet. I'd like, if he does, then for him to become a disciple, I think would be a much better use of him. I just don't like how they're currently using him. I don't think that it's... That kind of comedy role is fine. It'll only get you really so far. I think that it'll get... it'll keep him around like an R-Truth kind of a moment. No one was really that excited that he had Money in the Bank, you know? So yeah, that could be a much better way of using him. Shout out to KJ Carter. There's who would win out of Roman or The Rock? It would have to be Roman, because there's no real benefit in The Rock winning, because The Rock's not going to be staying around. The Rock isn't going to be carrying the title, having feuds and all of that kind of stuff. So I think what you want to do is you want to show that you've actually got someone better than The Rock. Everyone knows The Rock. Everyone loves The Rock. Well, there's someone even better than The Rock in WWE right now. And by having Roman win, then you might just be able to convince people to stick with the story. I mean, they could have it whereby The Rock wins and then Roman beats him at the next pay-per-view. But I don't know if I'd book it that way. You'd have to think that Roman would win that. What if Miz has the wrong briefcase and Otis still has the contract, says Austin316. Oh, I gotta be honest, I'd hate that. All that messing around would be silly. Plus, wasn't it? It was for the contract, wasn't it? So I don't think legally he'd be able to get away with such a thing. Did you know that Davey Boy Smith Jr. returned to WWE on the bump on February? Yep. He was there to talk about his dad going into the Hall of Fame. I mean, like, I don't know if there was any plans for him, and obviously they fell through with the pandemic. I mean, it's hard to know how they would use him. If they were planning on bringing him in for NXT UK, well, that's only just started up again. So it might be that that's why things have been a little bit quiet. So, yeah, we'll have to see. I wouldn't mind seeing him back. Jorbers says, celebrating our 8-month YouTube podcast soon. Thank you for the inspiration. Shout out to you, Jorbers. Days, everyone forgot about Eva Marie at this point. You think it was all a tease so the audience could tune into the shows? What, you think there's loads of people tuning in hoping to see Eva? I don't know. I've got a horrible feeling that it's probably true and she's probably still on the way. They're probably just trying to find the right point to drop her into the story. So, don't know. There was a lot of smoke, wasn't there? There was a lot of smoke. Normally where you've got rumours that big, that strong, that vocal, there's normally something behind them. So, yeah, I don't think we're out the woods yet. Why would Natty get another shot at the Survivor Series when she had one last week? It's a good point. I'm not too sure. Hopefully they explain that on the show. Zachary says Tyson Kidd has been training. That'd be interesting if those two we could get the Hart Dynasty back, which was Tyson Kidd, Davey Boy Smith Jr. and or D.H. Smith and Natalia. So yeah, that would be cool. Austin says, I really want to see Daisy's reaction if she returns. His reaction when he thought she was returning was priceless. I don't even want to think about it. Monica says, Eva is going to pop in when you least expect it, and I will be here laughing. Well, that seems a bit mean. B, Tazzy the Party, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Who are these sick people who tune in, especially to see an Eva return? Says Anna Dawes. Oh, yeah, we all did. Oh, I know. I don't think we're out the woods. I don't think we're out of the woods with it, but you know, we'll wait and see. I don't want to keep talking about it because it upsets me. Do you know someone named Dwayne The Rock Johnson's dad was a wrestler, but he done now? Did you know? Did he die? Yeah, The Rock's dad, Rocky Johnson, was a wrestler. He was the first black tag team champion in WWF alongside Tony Atlas. And, I mean, he was great. He was one of the big kind of black wrestlers for the WWF around the kind of, was it early 80s, early to mid 80s? Yeah, as I said, you know, big player. Absolutely jacked, looked awesome. You can see where like The Rock gets his genetics from, and obviously his good looks as well. He's a good looking guy, and yeah, he's called Rocky Johnson. Of course, The Rock is third generation, because you've got the High Chief Maivia. You had Rocky Johnson. And that's why when The Rock made his debut, he was known as Rocky Maivia, because they took the bits of the two names, and that's how his name was formed. So, but Rocky Johnson did pass away not long ago. I can't remember exactly when. Was it earlier this year? Maybe the end of last year? I seem to remember it was very recent. So, yeah. What's your excitement level? Asks Brony. My excitement level for SmackDown is about 6. Don't really care about the Survivor Series qualifying matches. SmackDown tends to be the show I look forward to the most. It's 2 hours. That's a really good length of time. Doesn't outstay its welcome. Obviously, the Roman thing's my favorite thing that's going on in wrestling at the moment. So that's on the show. Plus, we've got Bayley versus Sasha, which I'm really hoping is going to deliver. So we've got that as well. So I think there's quite a few things to look forward to. The only thing I would say is I don't really care about the Survivor Series qualifying matches. And also you've got this presidential thing just hanging over us. Like, no one knows what's going to happen. I mean, like, we could be talking about wrestling. Half of you might not even be able to watch it because Biden might be on instead. So, yeah, we'll have to see how it all plays out. I've actually got NBC News on to see if they're saying anything about Biden and a potential announcement, but nothing being spoken about at this stage. Days, are you going with King Corbin or Ray tonight in the qualifying match? I'm going to go with Ray. I don't know why you would want to put King Corbin onto the team rather than Ray. So I would go with Ray. And as we said, I think there could be an interesting story where if Ray qualifies and Seth qualifies, then the two have to try and work together. Jim says, if Sasha retains, the world will be shocked. Yeah, she always loses on her first title defense, doesn't she? So, yeah, you're right. This is going to be, this could be quite dramatic. I think she will retain. I think she will get it done. I'd be surprised if they were to take the title off her. But hopefully there's some drama to it. Eva is going to help Bayley, says Dave. Boss time, says Sheila. Kylie says, Days, would you want to see Sasha versus Bianca or Sasha versus AJ Lee? It's got to be Sasha AJ Lee, hasn't it? I mean, as much as I love Bianca Belair, she's one for the future. AJ Lee is, getting older now. So I really would like to see her come back and have one more run. And I think her against Sasha could be absolutely dynamite. So, yeah, I would love to that. Carmella helps Bayley tonight as they were best friends. Any thoughts? Says Dave in real life. I like that. Baymella. Do you remember that in NXT? I think that's what they were called when they were hanging out together. Baymella. So, yeah. Maybe that is something that could go down that way. That's very good. She did send a message out saying, you will find out tonight why I'm untouchable. So, 20 minutes to go, my friends. 20 minutes to go. You have NBC on. Why not BBC? I'll tell you why. Because I don't know, actually, if I can get BBC on my phone. I just went onto YouTube and searched for news. And the one that most people was watching was NBC. I have no idea if it's got a certain political lean. I have no idea. So don't judge me. Oh, you watch NBC? No. All right? I don't. But it's the one that most people are watching on YouTube right now. So that's how I've got it on my phone. So I've got YouTube on my phone with NBC. And if there is going to be any announcements, then yeah, it'll obviously come through there. But BBC, I don't think BBC News is on YouTube. There's probably some way I could watch it. Maybe like I'd have to go through BBC iPlayer or something like this, but I'm not faffing around with that. I found NBC and that's good enough. Who do you think will win in the qualifying matches out of Natalya, Zelina, or Ruby? Who do I think will win? Probably Natalya, hence why they've put her in it again. I mean, I'm thinking probably not Ruby because she's in a tag team with Liv, and I can't imagine her qualifying on her own. Zelina, I don't know if they're really that invested in Zelina. Like, she's been losing a few matches recently. Like, of the three, Natalya is the biggest name. I would love for it to be Ruby. I think Ruby should be a solo star, but she's in the tag team with Liv Morgan. I don't know if you saw as well, but Liv Morgan is actually now training, apparently, to be a real estate agent. She's taking courses. She's signed up to learn how to do real estate. So she's doing all that in her spare time. So I think she's probably got. I mean, I don't. She just can't be enjoying herself. She just can't be having fun. So she's decided to pursue something else, or either that, or it's something for her to do after wrestling. If that's the case, that is real foresight, isn't it? To start your education now and learning now for after wrestling. Who knows when that's going to be? So yeah, I mean, however you carve it up, it's strange. So Ruby has cut her hair very short, says Dom15. Shay says Ruby winning. Liv gonna join as well to eliminate Nia and Shayna. Biruk says, Days, are the Wrestling Escape pods still on a Friday or are they replaced by the lives on a Tuesday? They're the lives on a Tuesday. We probably are getting to a point where I'll mention to Tommy, I'll be like, look, can we do a live for an hour and then do a quick recording after and see if I can still get some of those episodes out that aren't live. So you'll get a live and an episode as well, but they wouldn't be every week because my focus is on the Raw reviews that are hitting the channel. Managed to get one started yesterday and finished today. So managed to get another one done. So my spare time is completely taken up with those. And I'm actually, after this, I'm doing I'm actually doing research for UFC, because obviously it's the UFC stream tomorrow. So after this, I'm doing research for UFC. Tomorrow, I think I'll start a UK Rampage. UK Rampage 1993. It's a show that I watched when I was a kid. It's hidden away on the network. It's not one of the big pay-per-views. It was like a special that they did from the UK in 93. It's not really classed as a pay-per-view, but it was released on VHS. It was released on a video. So really, really looking forward to getting my teeth into that and revisiting that and having some fun with that. So yeah, that'll be something that I start tomorrow. You probably won't end up seeing it for a good few weeks, in all fairness. Tend to release new episodes on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And a massive thank you and a big shout out to everyone that's checked them out. I try to make them as fun as possible, and they don't make any money, right? So, yeah, they're a labour of love. So, do you think Big E will wrestle tonight? He's not advertised. There's a chance that he could, but no, he's not advertised yet. Don't make me any more confused than I am. I think Brian is great for that producing role. He has got good insight, says Miss Clown 1. I agree, dude. I agree. Mr. Whoppers 631 says, I've managed to get into the Thunderdome. Well, have fun, my friend. Have fun. No one listened when I called McIntyre joining The Fiend. It's coming soon, says Bobby. Move off the shy. Is Miz and Matt Riddle a good match? I think they could have a decent match, yeah. I think Matt Riddle is an excellent wrestler. He's obviously got the MMA background, so everything he does looks good, looks legit. I think Miz isn't the most exciting wrestler in the world, but he is very safe. He can give you a pretty solid match. If he's in there with like a really good worker, the match can turn out decent, can turn out very good. His matches with Daniel Bryan have always been very good. So putting him in there with Matt Riddle, if they're given the time and it means something and it's built well, you could put that on a pay-per-view and it'd be interesting. So, yeah. Jerry Smith, shout out to you. Cora Turner, shout out to you as well. Wrestling Days fan says Miz is a great wrestler. I'd love to see Maurice come back into the fold. I think Miz with Maurice was excellent. The Miz Morrison thing, I just can't tell you how much I've not enjoyed it. I don't think I've enjoyed a single second. I don't think there's any moment of Miz and Morrison being back together that I've enjoyed. So, yeah, I'm just desperate for them to break up. Kyle says, I think Seth will join Roman. I could see them bring him in, calling him Roman's brother. It's a good shout. Shay says, do you think Raw will invade tonight? I don't think so. I don't think so, because we haven't got the teams sorted yet. So, I don't. We had a lot of invasions. When we had NXT involved, there was invasions everywhere. We had people popping up in NXT. We had NXT popping up. SmackDown coming over to Raw, and there was lots of invasions. I think this year they'd be wise to dial it back. Do it on the go-homes. That's absolutely fine, but I don't think it needs it. I don't think it needs it, to be honest. I think just have your qualifying matches. You've already got a big match announced for tonight. Just make sure that Sasha and Bayley delivers. Give it the time that it needs and make sure that it delivers. The first match normally gets half an hour. So you normally get a talking segment and a match, and that takes up a quarter of the show. Like, I really hope... I don't want Sasha Bayley to be the first opening match, but I really hope they give it time. Give it time, and I'm hoping for a really great match. Lots of drama, lots of close falls, and built up nicely. And they're given the chance to do what they can do. Because don't forget, these two women are the same two women that gave us NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Gave us one of, if not the greatest women's wrestling match in the history of WWE. So, This is what I'm saying. We don't need invasions. We don't need any silliness like overloading the card or anything. Just let these two do what these two can do. And that would be enough. I do think that sometimes they overload cards. All you need is just an incredible main event. An incredible main event, and just make sure you announce it in advance. Big main event, and that's your talking point. I mean, like, every week with UFC, they give you a big main event. Like, you can look right now and you can see what the main event's going to be for the show in a month's time. They're even putting things in place for 2021. So you know what main events are going to be there and then. With WWE, you don't even know what the main event is a week in advance. Like, we don't know what next week's SmackDown main event is going to be. And that's fine. But hopefully tonight it gets announced what it's going to be. And they make a big deal out of it. And it's given the time that it needs. I mean, I think just go bigger with one big match. One main event. Make it big. Build it up throughout the week. Build it up throughout the show. And then the rest of your show you can easily fill out with the rest of the roster and little quick matches and pushing little stories along and qualifying matches, stuff like that. But yeah, you don't need like all of this stuff. Like sometimes it's just overloaded. So keep it simple. As of right now, the Survivor Series card looks really good, says B Tazzy. 9 minutes to go. How many? Oh, yeah, Brent Wilkinson. Shout out to you, dude. How many Jim Cornette pictures will there be? Do you know what? I forgot about that. We were talking about this the other day. So there was the banned list. This is something to definitely keep an eye out for. There was the banned list that was doing the rounds for the Thunderdome. And someone actually asked Jim Cornette. They were like, what do you think about being on this banned list? And he said, well, to be honest, I was never going to go into the Thunderdome. But now that I know I'm banned, now I want to go into the Thunderdome. So they agreed that they will give a free t-shirt to anyone that can get Jim's face on in the Thunderdome. That's gone out to his whole audience. They then cut it and put it as a clip on YouTube as well. People are definitely going to try. And I think they will succeed. So you could see quite a few Jim Cornettes tonight. Because people will get into the Thunderdome and they'll be sitting there. And then out of nowhere, they'll just pick up a picture of Jim Cornette. And, you know, it's how quickly can the people spot it and take it down, you know? So they've caused a bit of a problem for themselves there. And Rijan says, where is Carmella? I want her to be a part of the SmackDown women's team. Well, she said she's untouchable, and you're gonna see why tonight. So there we go. She will be on the show, apparently. Colby says, why hasn't Big E been on SmackDown lately? Is he hurt, or are they just not using him? I don't believe he's hurt. Haven't seen any reports on Big E. I just don't think they had anything for him. I'd imagine they'll have him try and qualify for the men's team. I don't think the men's team's full yet, is it, for SmackDown? So far, we've got Jey Uso. We've got another 2 qualifying matches tonight. I think that would still mean there's another 2 qualifying matches to come. So I would hope that Big E would be a part of those. And so I think there's a good chance that you'll see him next week. How much time until SmackDown starts? It'll start in 7 minutes. Zoltan says, I'm live in the Thunderdome. Awesome, my friend. Have a great time. AJ Lee versus Bayley would be awesome. Chelsea fan says, stop the count. Do you know what? That was so funny because Donald Trump sent that out, didn't he? Saying, stop the count. All in caps. Stop the count. And what someone did was they took that, his tweet, and underneath they put the picture of Goldberg and Fiend. So you had Goldberg pinning the Fiend and the ref like this. And the message above was Donald Trump saying, stop the count! 1, 2, 3. I mean, it is the worst result of the year. But that was a meme that I really enjoyed. I thought that was so much fun. So, yeah. I've seen some very funny memes doing the rounds over the past 24 hours. What happened to the walrus puppet? Well, it just moved on, didn't it? I mean, like, the story has just moved on with the draft and everything. He's not needed, is he? I don't think there's any feud or any reason to have him around. He obviously represented Paul Heyman. I don't even know if Paul Heyman knew. I can't wait to find out if Paul Heyman knew that puppet was coming into existence and what he thought about it. I'm sure he just took it all in his stride, but still, I can't wait to hear the interview on that. Otis becoming a disciple of Rollins wouldn't be fair for Tucker, who's single on Raw, because he won't get the push this early. Maybe he should join as well. I mean, the rumors were that he's moved over to SmackDown. Now, I know that he was seen on Raw, but the rumors were that he was coming to SmackDown, so I don't know what the plans are. My guess would be that they're going to do an Otis-Tucker feud. And where we go after that, I have no idea. I miss Goldberg, says Wrestling Days fan. Sean Reset says the walrus puppet will come back later down the road. Jay says, where is Jason Jordan? He works backstage as a producer. Last time I saw him was when we had that Elias Jeff Hardy car crash. He was one of the people that was kind of around outside. So yeah, he's a producer, but I have no idea if he's still working behind the scenes. That wasn't that long ago, so I'd imagine that he is. But yeah, I haven't heard anything. Right, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. That's all we've got. The time, this hour always flies by. Let me just do a real quick recap. Real quick recap of what's on the show. So we got Sasha Banks versus Bayley for the Women's Championship. We got Otis versus Seth Rollins. Money in the Bank qualifying. Money in the Bank qualifying. Survivor Series qualifying. Rey Mysterio versus King Corbin. That's also Survivor Series qualifying. We're sure to see Roman. There's rumours that I haven't seen, so I can't confirm. But there's rumours of Natalya versus Zelina versus Ruby Riott in Survivor Series qualifying, which I can definitely believe are true. And then we've also got news, obviously, Undertaker's final farewell at Survivor Series. That was decent news today. Apparently, it's his final farewell. I did joke on Twitter, I'm sure many others did as well, that that might be his final farewell, but his ultimate final farewell will be the next show, and then after that, it'll be Final Farewell 2.0. Then it'll be Final Farewell, the ultimate mega deluxe edition, and then it'll be, do you know what I mean? Like, how many farewells are we going to have? But apparently this is the final farewell. So, I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. So, that is Survivor Series, Undertaker Final Farewell. Fiend versus... I mean, look, you got to know, they're going to keep banging that drum. Oh, they're going to keep going on and on about Undertaker Final Farewell. Right, which is fine. I wouldn't mind if I, for 1 second, believed that it was true. Then I wouldn't mind. But the fact that I don't believe it, the fact I think we definitely see him again, and I think he wrestles again. It's annoying. Fiend Bray, obviously interested in doing something with Undertaker. WWE sent the message out that he'd faced all comers, and Bray said, well, not quite all. He sent that as a tweet. AEW, WWE are both interested in Davey Boy Smith Jr. And as I said, Dana Brooke did date Batista. So there we go, breaking news. David Paul, shout out to you, my friend. Yeah, we got AEW Full Gear this weekend as well. So, and no news about a Biden speech at this stage. So honestly, don't know what the latest is on that. Certainly NBC aren't giving me any information or any updates. So if there is going to be a speech in an hour's time, I mean, I was expecting one to be about now. That was the talk earlier. So if there is one in an hour's time,
David Paul is a legend. They donated $5 via a super chat. Well, Days just saw Sammy versus Matt will be a cinematic match, most likely for Full Gear.
Can't even begin to tell you how unexcited for that match I am. I've got no interest in it. Matt Hardy has been, for me, one of the worst wrestlers of 2020. You know my stance on the supernatural stuff. I'm not a fan. And I just, changing clothes, underwater, and all of that kind of stuff. Just couldn't vibe with it. And then, obviously, they were doing crazy spots, and it all backfired in that last match. And a lot of people say that because of that, it kind of derailed All In, which it's not his fault, but you do have to question why were they even doing such a crazy spot in the first place. And it wasn't even the finish of the match. So, you'll have to excuse me for just not being too excited for this one. But anyway, that's for the future. We are in the Thunderdome right now. Are you ready? Okay, so Michael Cole says they're going to paint the portrait of Survivor Series. Are you ready? Well, who's coming out first? The Boss. Every single time I forget about that. Does remind me in a way, though, to do that. But you're not out the way. Well, it looks like we're getting this match first. I mean, the only positive thing I'll say about that is that the first match tends to get half an hour, so they tend to give it time, and this match deserves time. Am I a big fan of the big key championship match opening the show? Not really, but I've seen worse things. Right, Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Pushing on out the way. Right, here we go. Sasha Banks versus Bayley for the Women's Smackdown Championship. Why is this starting the show? Well, as I said, at least it'll get time. So we're just seeing a video package on it. Will Sasha or Bayley win? I would think Sasha. I would be surprised if Sasha was to lose. I mean, she does always tend to lose at the first time that she defends, but I think this might be the one where things go in a different direction for her. I wonder who's going to win, says Dark Doom. Go Sasha, says Mark 1. Let me know in the chat, which way do you think it's going to go? Which way do you think it's going to go? They're showing the beatdown, and the beatdown was awesome. The beatdown was so good. Sasha finally defends tonight. Days, I'm back from Vegas. Shout out to you, Damien. Hope you are well. Sasha says Lone Star Friends. Sasha says Knob Freeze. Sasha says Alex. Sasha says Brendan. Sasha says J14. Sasha says William Hensey. Colby says Sasha. Andrew says Sasha. WWE Figure Matches says Sasha. Glasgow Geek 1985 Tour says Banks as well. Anna Dawes says Sasha. Is anyone saying Bayley? Let me have a look. No. One. Yes. Apostates. Apostates lives matter. Why am I not familiar with that first word? But shout out to you, my friend. You are the only person I've seen going for Bayley. Dave in real life says Bayley DQ after Sasha uses a chair. Interesting. Linda, says Birak. Yeah. Linda's going to win. Bailey, says John. Okay, we've got a few Baileys coming through, but no doubt about it. The majority of the chat saying that Sasha is going to get the job done on this upcoming match. So, Brian Coleman says rooting for Ruby Riot. Double count out, says TC Mewborn. Days, good evening from the United States of what the is going on, says BBYPSI. Well, we can't be too far away from finding out what the flip is going on. Big rumours that there could be an announcement during this show. It's a real shadow that's hanging over, a cloud that's hanging over. We don't know, obviously, what's going to happen. Hopefully, if Biden is like a WWE fan, he'll be watching, and then he'll just do it after. That'd be really good, wouldn't it? Shout Biden, if you are watching, shout out to you. And Trump as well. All's fair, innit? Bailey says... Ding dong, hello Kayla. Every time she defends her championship, she loses. Tonight I take back what's mine. The Bailey-Sasha rivalry ends how it started. With Sasha being crippled in the ring. So there we go. Bailey coming out. DH, shout out to you. I was waiting for her to... Ding dong! Only here for the comments says, this ding dong thing must end. Fun fact, can't wait for Asuka to beat
is a legend.
Sasha.
They donated $1.99 via a super chat. Daisy baby.
Daisy
How
baby.
are you today?
I'm good. How are you, my friend? I'm very good, actually. I'm very much looking forward to this match. Bailey versus Sasha. Ah, Creed, you legend. Here we go. There'll be a lot of people watching going, that makes no sense, but she sounds awesome when she says the word potato. It's a real treat. A potato, that is. And when she says it. Potato. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Sonny says
Creed
yes.
is a legend. They donated £1.99 via a super chat. Potato.
Oh.
Smiley face.
Potato. I love how she says that. Excellent work. Well done, Creed. Potato. Look at the joy that it brings. Bailey in the ring, all in black. Sasha in red. The SmackDown Women's Champion. Sasha Banks. And as we said, this match is going to get some time. Smiley face. I love how the graphic said Bailey held the title till she lost it to Sasha at Hell in a Cell. Right, here we go. Bailey, Sasha. Lock up. Go over to the corner. This should be good. They're going to have a plan as to what to do. These two, such good friends. That they've been given the start of this show. And they are going to surely take it. Bailey goes over, pushes Sasha. Big strike coming in. Banks goes over, twists, nice arm drag. Goes on top of Bailey. Bailey kicks out. It's gonna be a good match. Got high hopes for this. Right, she's got Sasha. She was looking for a backslide. Sasha, though, using the corner, going up over the top. Nice trip by Bayley. Bayley has got Sasha down. Again, kicking Bayley up. Nice takedown, working on the arm. Bayley gets to the ropes. Naomi says, fun fact, I can't wait for Asuka to beat Sasha. Either match will be amazing. We're only at Survivor Series. We do go to commercial break, so there we go. Bayley outside of the ring, just a little summit to get the match going. But hopefully when we get back, they'll have a good chunk of time to really tell some stories. It is very hard when the commercials are going to keep interrupting. But as we said, this first match should get a good 15-20 minutes from this point. Where did they practice this round?
DH is a legend.
Here we go.
They donated
Yes!
$1.99 via a super chat. Potato, 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 potato.
Oh, that was good. That was good. It was becoming a bit hypnotic, actually. Potato, potato, potato. It's coming a bit sexy. Potato, potato. Oh, keep saying it. Keep saying it. The lady didn't read potato. She did read potato. Don't accuse her of ignoring the potato messages. I got rumours that Bayley's going to win, says Dark Doom. They're just rumours. I mean, I haven't even seen them rumours, so I wouldn't worry about them. This could go either way. Kevin says, I hope Sasha wins. Bayley was a great champion. She wrestled all the time. Great female wrestler. Good promos. She asked for time off for personal reasons, I heard. I haven't heard any of these things. Yuri Butler, shout out to you, dude. Hope you are well. NXT TakeOver War Games on Sunday, December 6th, says Adam. What's your favourite nut? Mine's the cashew. I like the Yum Nut. Have you seen that? The new Marks and Spencer's Santa's Yum Nut. I want to get hold of one of them. The problem is we're in lockdown. I could get one as well because I'm in the UK. And it's kind of taken the world by storm. I saw it was on like the American late night talk shows. The fact that M&S, Marks and Spencer's, have come out with it's like a donut yum thing. And it's got like obviously Santa decorations on. And they've called it Santa's Yum Nut. Who thought that was a good idea? Well, it is a good idea. The world's talking about it, so it's a very good idea, isn't it? Thinking about it. Next WrestleMania main event is going to be Hornswoggle versus Jordan. I really want Fiend versus Lesnar at WrestleMania 37, says Wrestling Days fan. Maria says, Days, read my chat. There you go. Sasha is going to win, says Zuri. Shout out to Chili. Oh, shout out to Chili. Shout out to you guys. Christopher, shout out to you and everyone in Chile. I have not heard of this Yum Nut. Yeah. It looks quite tasty in all fairness. Right, we are going back. We are going back. It is time to go back. Sasha versus Bayley. Right. Outside the ring is Sasha. Bayley in the ring, going against the ropes, slides underneath that bottom rope as Sasha goes against the ropes. She goes, slides under, grabs Bayley's leg and smashes her face against the edge of the ring. Goes round. Nice kick by Sasha. Sasha grabbing Bayley, throwing her into the ring. Dace, can you give me a shout out? Zachary, shout out to you. Do you like Mike Bennett? Says Kermu. I haven't really got strong feelings, to be honest. I don't think he was used very well in WWE. He had an okay match with Nick Aldis recently.
DH is a legend.
All I know.
They donated $4.99 via a super chat. Okay, one more. Potato, 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 potato.
I think she saw I was getting too excited and she refused to keep saying it. Potato, potato, potato. Well, I better stop now. She couldn't, even she was getting so worked up. Shout out to you, DH. Shout out to you. Potato. She does sound lovely, doesn't she? Sounds like Mary Poppins or something. Bailey going for the pin. Kick out by Sasha. And knee to the back by Bailey. Another knee strike coming in by Bailey. And Sasha goes over to the ropes. And choking her out on that middle rope. Sasha going over to the corner. Bailey comes over. Kick to the midsection. And again. Oh, I'm all worked up now. Aaron Van Dam, shout out to you. Miguel, shout out to you as well. Sasha getting dragged into the ring as Bailey goes for the pin. She stares at Michael Cole. You see that? She got a 2 count. And as they were counting, she was just staring at Michael Cole. She has so got a thing for Michael Cole. I'd love it if she started flirting with Michael Cole. I wonder what he would do. How would he react if Bailey started flirting with him? How would he react if he got any female attention at all? Sasha getting up to her feet. Over to the corner. Bailey with a kick to the midsection. Backs away. Charging over. Collides into the corner as Sasha moves out the way. Sasha charging over. Double knees. Bailey catches. And Bailey gets smashed back into the corner. And double knees there by Sasha. 1, 2. Kick out by Bailey. Clothesline by Bailey. 1, 2. Quite close there by Bailey. It's not a bad little match, this. It's not a bad match. Some quite a few pinfalls. Aaron, yeah, shout out to you, dude. Roman is the greatest wrestler of this generation. I always love Roman, but keep him heel. He is the best heel, says Arga. Both women are on the middle rope, and Bailey backs away. Sasha, big double knees. She just jumped right into the middle of the ring. Big double knees from Sasha Banks. Bailey goes down. Dalton, shout out to you, dude. She won't read all of them out. She's still flustered from before, but she'll give it a good go. How many is she going to read? I'm going to say 7. I'll go with 7. Crossbody by Sasha to the outside. Bailey goes down as we go to commercial. You've timed that really well. You've timed that just as we've gone to commercial break. Here we go. I'm guessing 7.
Dalton Riley is a legend.
Here we go.
They donated $5 via a super chat. Potato, 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 potato.
Wow, she read them all. I think she read them all. Did she? Why was she so like before? She was like potato, potato, but this she was like potato, 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 potato. I think she's getting upset with you guys. I can't say other words, you know. Potato, 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 potato. Guys, you're upsetting the voiceover woman, yeah? And I need her to like me because she's the only other person on this channel. And if she doesn't like me, it's going to be a very lonely Christmas party, okay? So bear that in mind. Potato, 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 potato. Oh, wow. Wasn't expecting that. She did read it quicker, didn't she? That wasn't just me. For some reason, something just happened where she just sped up. Don't know what's going on. Oh, it's all falling apart, isn't it? Honey roasted pistachios are awesome. Yeah, shout out to them. Definitely a shout out to them. Days, are you going to do UFC tomorrow? Yes. Zuri says, I really want Sasha to win this. Amar says, how is Linda doing? She is very good, thank you. She is currently locked away in my love dungeon. I mean, I call it love dungeon to kind of make it seem nicer than it is. It's basically just a dungeon. But I call it love dungeon because it makes it sound a bit more affectionate. Yeah, she's fine. She's doing really, really well. I've been feeding and watering her, and which I think you have to do with women. So, yeah, all good. Murphy and Tuck gonna constipate their marriage tonight, says Kyle. Yeah! Hope so. I'd love it if there was some constipation on the show. Days, are we doing predictions for AEW? Yes. Are you doing Full Gear? Yes and no. It'll be on in the background. My focus is UFC, but I will be keeping an eye on Full Gear at the same time. So, but it won't be branded as Full Gear. It'll be UFC. But yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on it. I think she's going to really appreciate the fact that she is going to get a chance to say a different word in there as well. Breaking news, Georgia too close to call as slim Biden lead increases.
DH is a legend. They donated $4.99 via a super chat. Mashed potato, 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 potato.
Yeah! It's a brand new dance, sweeping the world. Mashed potato, mashed potato, mashed potato, mashed potato. That's like a big Euro beat behind it, doesn't it? Mashed potato, mashed potato, Anyway, we can't focus on that. Oh, Colby. You are Colby. Oh, there's going to be a big backlash.
They donated $2 via a super chat. Tomato. I am now the biggest heel on this stream.
Why didn't she say tomato? How can it be potato but tomato? It's surely tomato, potato. I don't understand. How is she saying potato, but then she says tomato? Who is this woman? Tomato, potato. Who says that? It's tomato, potato. They have to rhyme. I don't know who this woman is. I think she's drunk. Close pinfall there by Sasha. Bailey getting her shoulder up. Shoulder up. Yeah. Elbow drop by Sasha outside the ring as well. And then we saw a big frog splash from Sasha. This match has been rumbling along. They started the show. I reckon we've still got a good 5 minutes or so. God, I still can't get over that tomato. Can't get over it. Right, round the back of Bailey. Backstabber. Tried to get a bank statement. Couldn't get it. Bailey to belly. Oh, couldn't get it. Takes her down. Gets the bank statement, but it's right by the ropes. Sasha goes out the ring. Bailey kicks Sasha into the barricade. So, outside the ring now, Sasha gets the barricade, but Bailey can't win the title. That was nice. It was a bank statement attempt and a Bailey to belly. Where's Sasha gone? Oh, she's getting a kendo. That is not legal. She's just thrown it in. The ref's just grabbed it. Get this out of here. Well, she got a chair. There's a chair in, but Sasha's blocked it. She throws the chair away. Oh, backstabber by Bailey. into it. Bailey to belly. Here we go. 1, 2. Ah! Backstab. Could you imagine if Bailey had hit the backstabber and then put on the bank statement? That was good. I really like this now. Here we go. Here we go. Look, Bailey going up top. Elbow drop by Bailey. 1, 2. And again, Sasha survives. Again, Sasha survives. Very good. Love that backstabber. I thought she was going to do backstabber into bank statement. She didn't. Backstabber into Bailey to belly. But Sasha survived. Lovely elbow drop. Some real close falls here. Now Sasha's round the back of Bailey. Hurls Bailey into the corner. Sasha charging over. Bailey gets her legs up. Sasha runs into the legs. Against the ropes goes Bailey. Knee strike by Bailey. A nice side suplex. Sasha goes down. Bailey going over. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. You can see the frustration on her face.
Ruben Voices is a legend. They donated $4.99 via a super chat. Hey man, hope your day is going in a positive direction. Been a fan for a while and much love and respect. Honored watching you.
Ruben Voices, shout out to you, my friend. What a really kind message. What a real positive message. The world needs more Ruben Voices. I wish the voices in my head were Ruben Voices. They're not. They're much darker. But shout out to you, Ruben Voices. Really appreciate the support, man. And Dalton as well. Dalton trying to up the heel stakes.
Dalton Riley is a legend. They donated $5 via a super chat. Tomato, 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 tomato.
That's the tomato song. Tomato, 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 potato, potato, tomato, tomato. I don't even know what's happening. The mouldy spoon. I've got no. We've lost the chat. The chat's gone. The chat has gone. Constipated Potato. That's my new album. Big kick by Sasha. Bailey down. Now she's going for the backstabber. Gets it into a bank statement. Oh, she's got it. Middle of the ring. Middle of the ring. Bailey's got a tap. She does tap. Sasha wins. Sasha wins.
The Mouldy Spoon is a legend. Yes. They donated £4.99 via a super chat. Pulled pork potatoes, plenty potatoes, prawn potatoes, potatoes, pasta, pork pop pop. Think I just had a stroke.
Pork pop pop. I don't know what pork pop pop is, but it sounds amazing. What's for dinner? We're having pork pop pop. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. Love a good bit of pork pop pop. Oh, I really do want that now. Is that a thing? I want some pork pop pop. In my mind, you put it in your mouth and it kind of crackles away like that crackly candy. What is that? It's new. It's called pork pop pop. Crackles away, but it's pork flavoured.
Ruben Voices is a legend. They donated $4.99 via a super chat. I'm a voice impressionist and I would like your feedback on them. You have TikTok or Instagram and you're legendary.
Yeah, send your clips over, dude. If you send me any, if you do impressions, if you can do any wrestling ones, do some wrestling ones. I'll happily retweet them. So yeah, send them over, tweet them over. I haven't got TikTok. I could have had TikTok, but do you know what I mean? If I was to put TikToks up, everyone else would have to stop because I would own that site.
Kermit the Frog is a legend. They donated $1.99 via a super chat. Don't do a vid about earliest 5 wrestlers of 2020. Toot.
I didn't even see. Oh, there's your message. Who's this? Carmella's here. Carmella attacking Sasha. Boom on the entranceway. Carmella attacks. She's wearing like lingerie. Well, kind of. Kermu says, do a vid about your least favourite wrestlers of 2020. We'll probably do quite a few of those kind of things at the end of the year. But yeah, Mela is money.
Hayden Garrett is a legend. They donated $5 New Zealand via a super chat.
So,
Hot potato, 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 potato.
all right. I thought she just added an extra potato, but it's because you had the potato emoji. I thought she just wanted to say potato again. We got, that's a really nice Dusty Road shirt. Shout out to you, Hayden Garrett. Kevin Owens says, I don't think your family's a joke. I don't think any of this is a joke. Kevin says you should probably switch to decaf or something. Well, there we go. There we go. So, Kevin trying to just check in on Jey Uso. Jey Uso was very standoffish. Yeah, very good match. Probably about a 3.5 star match. 3.75, around that ballpark. For me, it wasn't in the 4s. But I could, about a 3.5, 3.75. I think that there were some real great moments at the end. I don't think it came close to their TakeOver Brooklyn match, but I think that's hard to do on SmackDown with commercials getting in the way. And also without a crowd. I think it's very hard to do as well. I also think that bringing Carmella in is interesting. You're going to have to do a good job of building her up because I don't see her as the equal to Sasha. So I really think they're going to have to build her up quite a bit. But she looked good there, standing over a beaten up Sasha at the end of that. And her attire looks awesome as well. I'm sure Corey Graves enjoyed it.
YouTube Tag Team Champions is a legend.
Tag Team Champs.
They donated $2 Australian and 99 cents via a super chat. Potato, 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 potato.
Yeah. Keep them potatoes coming, man. Keep them potatoes coming. Days, you should get an intro music for your live streams. Yeah, the only problem is that takes work, doesn't it? And I'm not really about that. I'm not really about that hard work. I'm all about the sitting, talking, having a good time kind of a thing. So I'd rather just get straight to that. Do you know what I mean? No nonsense. That's what we are. Yeah? No, apart from all the potato nonsense. Other than that, we're no nonsense. Carmella was the champ previously, wasn't she? She was, but don't forget, didn't she get that championship by James Ellsworth winning it in a Money in the Bank ladder match? And then I think she did have to do Money in the Bank again, and she did win it a second time legit. But I can't remember that second one as much, actually. But yeah, she's not someone that's ever had great momentum. She's not someone that's ever been booked or has performed at the level of, say, a Sasha, a Bayley, a Charlotte, or an Asuka. She's always, for me, been seen as at least a level below. So I feel like she's been away for a while. She's got this new gimmick. I think she needs to now have some decent matches, get a run together, and needs to be built up. And I'm sure they will do that. I'm sure she's been away for quite a while. So, yeah, I'm into it. Right, 33 minutes have gone. We've got an hour and a half to go. Still no news about the election, right? Still no news about any announcements or anything. Obviously, that's a big talking point because of the fact that the show could be interrupted. The other thing as well is that I expect the ratings to be awful.
Ruben Voices is a legend. They donated $2.99 via a super chat. I do Stone Cold and Hogan. My Insta Ruben Voices.
Very cool. There we go. People can check you out on Ruben Voices with 2 S's on Instagram. Very cool. I am rarely ever on Instagram, to be honest. So, but yeah, if you're on Twitter or anything, send him over on Twitter and I'll gladly check him out. 30 years after his debut, we say a final farewell. The Undertaker bids his final farewell at Survivor Series. Could you imagine if, like, the music hits, he comes walking down and he goes, bye, and waves and then just walks off? That'd be good. And by good, I mean awful. Yeah, sure, it's his last time, says General Snotty Notty. He needs to come out in the same peach jacket that Mark Henry did. He needs to go full-on Mark Henry retirement segment. That would be good. What if his whole gear is dead man gear, but his whole gear is peach? Peach-coloured, peach hat, peach gloves, peach jacket, peach trousers. Perhaps he's dressed as a peach. Amazing. Right, we got Kayla Braxton in a ring with Jey Uso. Kayla says this has got to be emotional and trying for you. Right, we're just seeing a recap of last week. Final farewell, except it won't be. Peach Taker. Yes. Peach Taker. That was my nickname at school. I gotta get through lockdown. I gotta get through this. Be alright. You'll be alright. Stay strong. Stay strong. Carmella won't win the title from Sasha, says Wrestling Days fan. Do you like Seth Rollins? Yes, I just don't like... I just don't like his current gimmick, the Messiah thing. Austin says his final farewell will be him doing a TikTok video live in the ring with Lana. I'm a savage. And a booty nasty. Ow! That would be so good. It'd be memorable, wouldn't it? None of us would ever forget that. It would definitely make his greatest hits DVD. So, yeah. I like the Samoan faction, but Heyman needs to go. Or he needs to become Samoan, and he should take his shirt off, and he should have big Samoan tattoos all down him. That would be good, wouldn't it? Undertaker is like 8 billion years old, says Brody. Yes, Days, get it. Yes, Austin. I hate the Messiah gimmick. Tymea says, I feel so bad for Jey Uso. Hello, Jackson. Hope you are well. Cora says, I would never forget that. None of us would, Cora. None of us would. That really would be the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, look, we're just looking at video package at the moment. This is just a video package last week to do with Jey and Roman. Rusev, Undertaker, Brock should come back and destroy the Fiend, says Wrestling Days fan. Do you think we'll see Tuck and Murphy kiss again, says Brandon? I don't know. Do we need it? Do we need it? I think it was a big, shocking moment last week. I don't know. Perhaps we could up the stakes. Perhaps, do you know what I mean? Perhaps we can go to the next level. Grab a boob. I went there. I said it. I was thinking. I was like, shall I say it? Shall I not say it? I was trying to read the room, and it's very hard to do considering I'm the only one in the room. So I was like, but I went for it. And I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it. So yes, that's what I'm hoping to see. Okay, we've got Jey Uso being interviewed by Kayla Braxton. Family is forever. What's Kayla getting all preachy for? Kayla's like, yeah, family is forever unless you don't fall in line. Yeah, here's Paul Heyman. Yeah. Hi, how are you? Question. Did Roman authorize this interview? No, he did not. Roman needs to talk to you. Still throwing shade. She is throwing shade. She is throwing shade. Push her over. Push her over. Paul Heyman should get behind, crouch down, should do one of them. Don't know who this woman thinks she is. Just because she's hosting the bump. All of a sudden now she thinks she can be throwing out shade. Okay, look, here's Ray, Dominic. Ray's upset. He wants to talk to Tuck. Please go get my gear for me. Oh, no, King Corbin. King Corbin's stomping away on Ray. All right, well, here we go. This match coming up next. This Monday. Drew McIntyre on a moment of bliss. He never forgets. Let me in. Yowie, wowie. There we go. Drew will be on a moment of bliss. They're going to constipate their marriage. It's a cheap shot by Corbin. That was Flats. RJ Mamma, shout out to you. Days, do the Roman. Do the Roman. This Monday on Raw. I don't know if that's any good or not. He's doing it wrong. I'm not doing it wrong. If I sound like more like him than he does, so bear that in mind. Something tells me Ray is not going to be cleared to compete. What do you think Dominic will take his place? Dave's naughty. This is a PG stream. I don't know what I've done wrong for it to not be a PG stream, but I still don't know what that goo was that came out of Alexa's mouth. Any ideas, says Gabriella. Well, I think it's meant to be a tongue. I think it's meant to be a tongue. Anyone else got any other thoughts as what they think it is? Either that or she needs to go and see a doctor. Because that is not normal, is it? The King is, I think... Is Dom going to take Ray's place? I think so. Peach undertake the whole thing. Top to bottom. Peach. Just picture it. It'd be so good. It's... Don't worry about it, Rotem. Don't worry about it. Dace, I remember someone saying that Mustafa Ali was the hacker because since he left the hacker, he admitted to being the hacker, Lightning Bolt. He came out and went, I should probably just admit to it now, but I was the hacker. So he was the hacker. Or at least he's claiming he was the hacker. She's a reptile, says Shadow Ghost. LeBron says it's a fruit roll-up. Dave in real life says, Days, as tongue, can I get a rise on tongue? What? You think it's a tongue? Fruit roll-up. There's been a few votes for fruit roll-up. King Boring says he was getting... Yeah, it's a bit dull, innit? I do think... I could see Ray's place being given to Dominic instead, yeah. Sean says, Otis losing. That's what happens to your tongue when you play Rumpy Pumpy on the PS20. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. She was eating Jello, says Spiky2999. Well, I could imagine that that is something they have in the Funhouse on a regular basis. Right, Jey Uso. If you want to do something like that, you got to run it by Roman. Jay says, let's go talk to him then. Paul Heyman says, I'll bring him to you when he's ready. Jay is getting frustrated here. There's not much he can do, though, is there? I mean, he's had a couple of matches. Here's Roman. Why are you talking to Kayla? There's a chain of command. You talk to me. If you can't find me, you talk to Paul. Sounded like he was disrespecting you. This is so good. If he disrespects you, then he disrespects me. This is really good. I love how Roman's like been summoned, if you will. He's been like Paul Heyman's gone to get him. Makes it feel like it's a massive deal. Well, he is a massive deal. Roman says to Paul, you're supposed to know about everything. You're meant to know about everything and hear everything, so I don't have to. Go find Adam Pearce. We're going to handle this KO problem. Interesting. So Kevin Owens is going to have a match, seemingly. I don't know against who, if it's Jay or if it's Roman. But Roman said, go find Adam Pearce. I like it. I like it. It's really good. Really compelling stuff. Like, you're watching it and you're just like, where's this going? It's kind of edge of the seat stuff. Right, King Corbin. Meant to be Rey Mysterio. I'll put him in. His music certainly hit. But, yeah. He's coming out. I mean, he hasn't changed. He's still in the same attire that he was backstage. Trash Corbin. Shotzi Tank is in the Graveyard Cemetery. They're teasing, leading Shotzi joining forces with The Undertaker versus Johnny and Candice. I wouldn't think so. Ray getting up into the ring. Do you think Sasha Bailey match was first because of the possible interruption in a little bit? No, I think it was first because traditionally the first match gets a good chunk of time. The other thing as well is that they are potentially up against a presidential announcement that could come at any point. Like, no one knows what's happening, so it kind of makes sense to get it done. Get it done. Get the keep people watching. Put a big match on, title match. And then that way, if there is any interruption later, then it's not going to interrupt the Sasha Bailey. That would be my thought, my prediction. And as we said, you know, that first match, it always gets time. I think if you've got a big match like that, it's either going on first or it's main eventing. Corbin's a joke. He is. The bell has sounded, so it is Corbin versus Ray. Amazingly, we're 50 minutes into this show. We've got 10 minutes till we get the halftime scores. So if you are watching and you are thinking of sharing your scores, then start thinking about them now in about 10 minutes time. As soon as you get to the next commercial, around in 10 minutes time, then we will throw over to the scores. Corbin belongs in a trash bin. Yes. Miss Clown 1 says decent show. Anna says, is this going to be the arc where Buddy comes out to save Ray and Dom from a Corbin beating to curry favor? Maybe. Maybe. Out the ring goes Ray. So Corbin in the ring is thrown Ray to the outside. Graves says that he can relate, says Ducky Ducky. Days, who do you think should go back to NXT? Maybe Tucky. I would struggle to see him having a long-term future without a new gimmick, a reinvention of some kind. I think he is in danger of being this year's Killian Dane. Killian Dane, you just couldn't see what they were going to do with him. And so he ended up going back to NXT. He hasn't had much of a reinvention. He's in this tag team with Drake Maverick. I don't know if that's going to be good enough for him to get called back to the main roster, but yeah, Tucker's going to need something else now. Big forearm strike by Ray. And again, I would be tempted to move Liv Morgan as well. And the reason why I say that is because I think she is there or thereabouts in regards to being good in the ring. I think she can put together a match, but she's never going to give you a 5-star match. She's someone that can do a few things, but I always felt was called up too early. She's done a lot of house shows. She's been on the main roster for a good few years, and I think that she belongs on the main roster now. No issue with her being there. But I think if she went back down to NXT, she could be right up there for like the title. You could put her back to NXT. She'd be right up there for the belt. And she's got a decent fan base as well. It might actually move the dial on the ratings for NXT. So it's kind of there's lots of wins all around. Lots of wins all around. All of a sudden, she's a big fish in a small pond, rather than a small fish in a big pond. She could bring a decent fan base with her. And that momentum would then carry over so that when she went back to the main roster, which wouldn't have to take long, but when she went back to the main roster, she'd have some real momentum behind her. And she could come up as quite a big deal. And then that might just catapult her up to where people want her to be. People want to see her around the title picture, but she's nowhere near it. She's nowhere near it. I don't think she's in their plans or in their thoughts to have her competing for the SmackDown Women's or the Raw Women's or anything. So, yeah, I would put Liv Morgan back down. I would put Tucker back down. There's probably more if I was to think about them. Goldberg. Next week, Friday, 13th of November, Murphy versus Dom for the Survivor Series qualifying match. Days, as you probably already know, Tyson Jones will be on. Yes, I did see that. Thank you, though. Monica King, shout out to you. I would check Twitter, but I've got the news on my phone. Is it about the news? I'm sure if it was about the news, I would hear. The biggest match of Otis's life was against Seth Rollins. Corbin actually should have a jester. That would be good, actually, Colby. That's a good shout. He probably would benefit from having someone with him rather than just being on his own. There's imagine Corbin had one of those clowns that entertain the kings, a jester, yeah. Does Jay need Roman's authorization to even go to the bathroom now? It's getting that way, isn't it? William says, I'm waiting for more about Lars's past. Sean says, Killian got attacked on NXT. Okay. Lightning Bolt says, Dave, remember the stream where you said that you don't know any Italian names that start with E? No. And then came across Emily, the one that discovered the light bulb. I remember the light bulb talk, but I can't remember saying I don't know any Italian names that begin with E. But, I mean, that's such a weird thing to say that I definitely believe I said it. If it sounds bizarre, then yeah. I can definitely believe it happened. I can't remember it. I can remember the light bulb conversation, but... I want Big E to join Team Smackdown. Just to see him and Keith Lee mix it up. Right, we've got Ray and King Corbin. As we said, I am fully expecting ratings to suffer. We saw ratings suffer in the midweek because of all the election stuff. And I'd expect the ratings to struggle for SmackDown as well. But it's not been a bad show, in all fairness. I mean, it's been enjoyable. It was a good first match. Really have enjoyed the Roman stuff. And now we're underway with Ray versus King Corbin. Seth Rollins has come out, by the way. And he's standing on the entrance ramp. We've got 4 minutes till we reach the halfway point. Into the corner goes Ray, who's not competing in his usual attire. Nice back elbow. Big boot by Ray as the commentators talk about Survivor Series. Springboard moonsault. Oh, look at that. That's a great move by Corbin. That was a wonderful, wonderful backbreaker. That's nice. Very good. Not going to be able to do that with too many people, though, I don't think. I can't imagine him doing that to Otis. Break his own shoulder. I just got a little bit distracted because I just saw on the news, apparently Joe Biden has sent out a statement. Literally, I just read it on NBC. And apparently it's from Joe Biden's campaign team. And he says that the police are perfectly capable of removing trespassers from the White House if needed. That is... Oh, it's getting tasty, isn't it? It's getting tasty. So he's basically saying, like, you know, Donald Trump's a trespasser. If it keeps going the way that it's going. The police are perfectly capable of removing trespassers from the White House. The shade. Honestly, it's more compelling than most of the WWE storylines, isn't it? Here we go. Ray going up top. Big crossbody by Ray. Caught by Corbin. Nice. Otis is about to get buried on SmackDown, and there may be an indirect burial on Raw as well if Mandy leaves him. Goes for the pin and shoulder up by Ray. It's only tasty when it's not your democracy on the line. Yeah, it is great to watch from afar. I will admit that. It is... I must say, I mean, I do think that... the first night of the election was very dull. I think I was the victim of the first night of the election. So, you know, I was awake and I was watching it, and I've got to be honest, I wasn't entertained. I was watching it. I couldn't turn it off, but I wasn't really entertained. You've got to do better, America. Got to do better. In fact, you are now. It's getting good now. This has been a really good season of the election. It's been one of my favourite seasons. And we are getting towards the season finale soon. So, into the side of the ring goes Rey Mysterio. Corbin chucking Rey into the ring. Days, we laugh at the British all the time. I don't blame you. Here we go, Corbin picking up Rey. Big strikes. One of our, I was talking earlier about how one of our food places has just released something called Santa's Yum Nut. So, laugh away. Find humour and enjoyment wherever you can in 2020. Corbin grabbing Rey. Big elbow across the back. Rey Mysterio down on his knees. Against the ropes goes Corbin. Big strike. Rey goes down. The pace of this has really fallen away. Like, it is literally now just Corbin just pounding away on Rey. Against the ropes. Big strike. Rey goes down. Smile on the face of Corbin, who looks over at Seth. Corbin going for another strike, misses, catches Rey in a bear hug. King Corbin squeezing away. Seth loving what he's seeing. We're just getting started. There's going to be recounts in 3 states. Illegal votes are already being striked. You just can't believe the establishment fake news. Yeah, I was prepared for there to be political talk in the chat. Let's go Corbin, says Nodfreeze. Is Dominic there? He is. He's outside the ring. Febin says, Days, fun fact, Rey Mysterio does the 619 and his wife does the 6'9". I hear you. Nice. Seated sent on. Springboard seated sent on by Rey. Kick out by Corbin. Kick out by Corbin. OJ2 says, why is Seth cheering for Baron? Did he forget that Corbin legit hit his girlfriend with the end of days? I don't care if he's a heel. He assaulted your girlfriend. Perhaps he doesn't really like her. Did you think about that? I mean, he got very upset when she turned out to be pregnant. Corbin out the ring. And he goes after Dominic. Hits Dominic from behind. Nice through the ropes goes Rey. Rey over the top. Big crossbody. Corbin goes down. Seth watching on. God, anyone else just want this to end? I don't know. Why is this taking so long? See Wrestling, shout out to you, Days. Did you see the Volta match? Yes. Best match in 20 years, in my opinion, says Beaver Cleavage. Days, fun fact, the British burned the White House in 1820. Is that? I didn't know that. Did we? You can't take us anywhere. 619. 619 by Rey. Seth comes down. He starts pounding away on Dominic. Into the barricade goes Seth. Oh, what is she wearing? Look at that outfit. She's got like a... Oh, what is she wearing? There's nothing to tuck. She's got like a little dress on. Oh. Honestly. It's like she's come from the local discotheque. Unbelievable. Where, I don't understand where they've come from. I don't know what she wears. Why is she wearing that? I mean, that top looks like a negligee. I just wanted to say the word, really. You can tell that I feel like I'm getting old. Because when she came down, my first reaction was, I don't think so, young lady. I don't think so. You're going out like that over my dead body. Get back upstairs. Get changed now. Right? Otherwise, you're not going out at all. That was my first reaction. Oh, I'm getting old, man. Getting old. Almost 22 now. We've got some breaking news. Jey Uso is going to have a match with Kevin Owens. Because they said something. Because Kevin Owens said to him, you probably should switch to decaf. And so now it's a match. Tucalina. Day's good match, but it was long. It was long. Daddy Day's getting upset. I know. Well, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe what she was wearing. Honestly. It's like she forgot the rest of her outfit. It's like she had her underskirt on. Yeah? Is that still a thing? Underskirts. It's like that she had her undergarments. Yeah? But she didn't have, like, the proper thing that you would wear over the top. Look, all I'm going to say is you might think that it looks good, but if you're going to show it all off, right? Boys will use you at that age. You're just going to get used at that age, right? If they really love you, then you should be able to just wear jeans and normal clothes, yeah? She didn't have to wear those things at that age, honestly. Get right back up there, young lady. Get right back up there. I do not want to see any of this. Thank you very much. People just want they just want a good tuck, don't they? That's all they want. Just a really good, deeply satisfying tuck. I'd love to see a Croatian tuck. I've never seen a Croatian tuck. I don't even know what one looks like. You know, I'd love to see a really good Russian tuck. Something like that, you know. Go up there, get changed, and give the world the fashion that only you can give them. Yeah? Introduced us to the French tuck, the half tuck, the full tuck, the high tuck. Week after week after week. Giving us such quality tucks. And then now she's giving no tucks. She is giving absolutely no tucks now. No tucks. Instead, it's an absolute, I can't believe it. I really feel for Ray. I really, really feel for Ray. He must be pulling his hair out. And you know what the mum's going to be like? The mum's going to be like, oh, just leave her to it. She'll learn. But Ray's like, no. She's not going out like that. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, get your scores in. Get your scores in out of 10. We are at a commercial break. 6.5 halftime score, 7. 6.5, 771. Are you doing UFC tomorrow? Yes. She's a rebel, says Austin316. She isn't, Austin, because all the kids that age do it. Is she really rebelling if everyone's doing it? Wouldn't rebelling be in dressing up like a librarian? That would be rebelling. That's what I would say. Oh, you're a rebel, are you? You're a rebel, are you? Okay, well, if you're going to rebel, then you're going to do something other people aren't doing. So I expect you to go upstairs, and I expect you to cover from head to toe. Yeah? I don't even want to see your face. Completely covered over. Yeah? No one's doing that. Here's a fancy dress costume of Big Bird. Put that on instead. I think you're going out like that. Forget it, love. 5.5, 5, 9, 7.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 7, 2, 2, 7. We've got 6.75 potatoes out of 10 from Wrestling Days fan. Daddy's little Gucci princess. Is that what it was? I don't care. I don't care if it's Gucci, Lucci, or whatever you want to call it. Zucci. Bucci. Oh, what's this? Hire Heroes. Some new charity. Hire Heroes. And Lacey Evans is the face of it. Hire Heroes USA. Right. Right, here goes Natalia's music. I can't believe it. Natalia versus Zelina versus Ruby Riott. The rumor was true. Looks that way. I mean, I did believe the rumor. They said coochie. I don't even know what that means. Is that a bad word, is it? I legit don't know what it means. If Becky's child is called the man's child, does that mean the kid is Seth's child or Becky's child? Oh, yeah, look at Ruby's hair. She's got short hair. Ruby, short hair, doesn't get an intro. Neither does Zelina. Zelina doesn't get an intro. Ruby, short hair, doesn't get an intro. Honestly, these women are wearing more than what Tuck was. Nice kick by Zelina. I can't imagine this match going too long. We're only 49 minutes away from the end, actually. Big kick there by Zelina. Against the ropes goes. Zelina gets tripped over by Natalya. Pulled out of the ring. Where did Ruby's hair go? That looks nice. It's up. Slam down. Corey Graves said Ruby didn't quite achieve the success she wanted on Raw. So is this a hint that she's on her own now? Is she on her own? Zelina going for the pin. That's cool. I like that spot. I like that. Surfboard stretch by Natalya and Zelina scurried in and went for the pin. She's getting swung around in the middle of the ring. Oh, nice. Head scissor takedown in the end by Zelina. Zelina's all a little bit wobbly. Gets tripped over there by Ruby. Ruby going out the ring. Yeah, I'd like Ruby to win. Natalya straight in. Big slap by Ruby. Ruby, top rope. Oh, senton, but no one home. Natalya's going to put the sharpshooter on. Zelina's there with a bulldog. Natalya rolls out the ring. Zelina has got Ruby in the corner. Double knees. Oh, that was a nasty knee. Seemed nasty. I don't know what that was. Something just came out. Those knees. Ooh. Something else has just come out as well. I think Ruby Riott's literally falling apart. I swear there's two things that just fell out of her face. Nice. Went for a discus lariat. Zelina manages to drag Natalya down, but Natalya rolls through. She's looking for a sharpshooter. Gets it. That might be it. That might be it. Don't know where Ruby is. Oh, don't tell me you're going to get out the sharpshooter. Come on, Zelina. Oh, yeah. Yeah, millions of people have never got out of a sharpshooter. But apparently Zelina's able to get to the ropes. But thankfully, Natalya drags her right back into the middle. But Ruby comes over. Look at this. Oh, that is moody, isn't it? Look at that. She taps. Are they going to give it to Ruby? Here we go. Yeah, they've given it Ruby. That's great. Sharpshooter applied. Ruby came in with, I think it was crossface. But they've awarded it to Ruby. Wow, Ruby won. Ruby's falling apart. She is falling apart. Bits going everywhere. That's a good-looking team so far. Ruby and Bianca Belair. Very frustrated. Natalya, there's Big E. What's he playing? Big E rocks. We got the Street Profits. Big E, I think, wants to be in the Champions Lounge with the Street Profits. Ah, they're trying to get a scoop off Big E. If you lay down in the ring, Kofi and Woods won't beat you up too bad. Big E laughs. He looks a little short compared to those two, doesn't he? Everyone's laughing. Everyone's laughing. Woo! Oh, Billy Kay's here. Here's my headshot. Here's my resume. Former member of the Raw roster. I like this. I like the fact they're using her in a comedy role. I really do like Billy Kay. Blue collar working man. Blue collar working man. Here comes Otis. Blue collar working man. Right, here's Otis. I like Billy Kay. Billy Kay's funny, man. She brings something a little bit different to that women's roster. There's not really anyone that's very good at humour in the women's division. You got Bayley ding-donging everywhere. But I do think Billy Kay is the most naturally funny female that they've got. Blue collar working man. Right, Otis versus Seth Rollins. Keep rolling. Well, I know you'll be loving this right here. At least his new song is good. Blue collar working man. It's catchy. There's still no president of the United States. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Days, do you think The Fiend will attack The Undertaker at Survivor Series? I think there's a good chance. I feel a bit bad that Natalya was not given the push that she deserves, says Baruch. She'll probably get another opportunity. She was in the triple threat last time. She was in the triple threat this week. She'll probably keep being in the triple threats. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Last time I asked, what was your thoughts on the Volta match? We spoke about it earlier. I thought it was brilliant. I think it was about a 4.5 to a 4.75. But if people want to say it was a 5-star match, then no complaints from me. Means crouch. Okay. What, as in like when you crouch down? Like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Have they split up the Riot Squad again, asks Heather. It's a good question, Heather. I don't have the answer. The commentators were certainly putting over, you know, the way that it didn't go to plan when Ruby was on Raw. Can she reinvent herself here? So, don't know. Volta is a beast. He is a beast. Please let the match start. How far? We've got 40 minutes left of this show. 40 minutes to go. And I don't know. We've got Jey Uso against Kevin Owens. That's the only other thing I can think of. Jey Uso against Kevin Owens. If they allow Billy's comedic side to shine, the breakup would have been worth it, says Herb. Yeah, I hope they do. I really hope they do. Honestly, if you was going to give a talk show to anyone, she'd be a really good person to give a talk show segment to. That might be a good way of using her. You know, she can have the occasional match, but she's a good talker. She's funny. So maybe give her a talk show segment. Is everything Billy okay? Blue collar working man. Alright, we got Otis in the ring. Do you think wrestling should be more like that? It is more believable. Yeah, I mean, I liked that match a lot. I don't know, does it stand out as much if everyone does it all the time? That's the only thing. I think a large part of the excitement is the fact that it is something that was so different to what you normally get. So I think it's tricky, to be honest. I mean, I would like wrestling to be more believable. I think by and large, it's in an okay place. I think we all agree wrestling could be a bit better, more creative, could be, you know, I'm sure there's lots of little segments we would want to tweak and change, but yeah, I think if every match was as hard hitting as that match wouldn't have stood out, and then it wouldn't be as special, and you can have too much of a good thing, you know. We're just looking at the history of Ray and Murphy and Tuck. I love him! That was such a great moment. Kiss him, kiss him, kiss him, kiss him, kiss. Ah! You go, girlfriend! You get yourself some, yeah! Yeah, sexy. I'm just realising how much Tuck and Dom look alike. Some say they're related. Right, we've got Seth about to make his way down. Yes, Seth's face. Don't know. The kiss. The kiss. The acting is cringe, says Eric. You're facing the wrong way. The ring is behind you. Yeah, I don't want to watch it live. I'll watch it on TV. I don't want to see it in person. I'm going to see what you guys can see. There, look, we've got Tuck backstage with Dom and Ray. Where's Angie? She was my favourite. Dom is Eddie's kid. Ah, good point. Good point. Wrestling Days fan says this story is vomit face, vomit face, vomit face, vomit face. Right. God, it's taking its while just to get going this match, isn't it? J-Man, shout out to you. This is such a weird match, says Birra. Right, Bella sounded and we are underway. Big strike to the back of the head by Seth. Double axe handles. And again. And a giggle. Little giggle as well. Pulling on the arm. Into the corner goes Seth. Picks up Seth. Slams him down. I'm guessing there won't be any announcements tonight. I mean, I suppose he could do it in the middle of the night, couldn't he? But I can't imagine he's going to want to do that. Can't imagine he's going to want to announce himself the winner during the middle of the night. Uh-oh. Here's Murphy Red Pants. Murphy Red Pants. What does Aaliyah see in him? His red pants? Do you think he starts wearing more and more of Santa's clothes the closer it gets to Christmas? Like, it's early November, so he's just got the red pants on at this stage. By next week, he'll have the jacket. Week after, he'll have the sack. Week after that, he'll have the beard. Week after that, he'll have the hat. Week after that, the reindeers. Just every single week, he's going to add an extra element. That'd be good. Here he is, look, just standing, staring at Seth. Santa Murphy. I heard that Aaliyah enjoys his yum nuts. That makes sense from something I said earlier. If you have just joined us, it is as bad as what you think. Actually, thinking about it, it is as bad as what you think. Kick out by Otis. Otis over in the corner. Murphy the Red Pants. Seth is... Oh, hello, Otis. Yeah! Having a little rub. Ooh. Yeah, kick to the midsection. Is there? There's something lovable about Otis. Big chop by Seth. Oh, look at them thrusts. Another big chop by Otis. He's gone wobbly-legged. Blocks. Seth goes against the ropes. Big clothesline by Otis. Otis against the ropes. Another big collision. Back elbow by Otis. Duck underneath. Seth against the ropes. Gets picked up. Oh, thrown down. Into the corner goes Seth. Picked up by Otis. Spun around. Slammed down. Otis charging over. Big kick by Seth. Do you know what? They've got to the point now where this is a Seth Rollins match. And it's only now just dawned on me. It's only now just dawned on me. This is Seth Rollins against Otis. That's how much I hate this Monday Night Messiah. I don't expect a good match from him anymore. I don't like, remember the Monday Night Rollins? It was the highlight of the show. Every time you saw Seth, it was a great match. And I've got to the point now where I have to actually get halfway through the match until I realise it's Seth. It's the same Seth. That's like the guy that cashed in at WrestleMania 31 was in the Shield. It's the same guy. They've done such a good job of completely destroying any positive element of Seth Rollins. Any enjoyment that anyone had of Seth Rollins, it's gone. 1, 2, 3. Now, Murphy caused a slight distraction there. So, I wonder what the Mysterios are going to make of that. Look, Aaliyah's got her head in her hands. Why has he done that? Oh, why has he done that? Oh, Aaliyah. What is he thinking? So, Seth wins. So we've got Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, and Seth Rollins on that team. Seth looking longingly at Murphy. Looking at Murphy like Aaliyah looks at Murphy. I can't wait until Survivor Series when Braun might turn on Keith. I agree about Seth. I know, man. It's so gutting, isn't it? I used to love the Monday night. When you used to get a Seth Rollins match, it used to be the highlight of the show. It used to be like, oh, man, it's going to be good. Do you remember when he was facing like Cesaro and Neville and just week after week just facing all these amazing people having amazing matches? Monday Night Rollins. It was absolutely, at that point, you could argue he was the best wrestler in the world. You could put an argument forward for it because it was week after week after week. He was stealing the show. He's not the best wrestler in the world right now. That's a great team. Thank you, Taker. If it wasn't for Murphy, Otis would have won. I think the Mysterios are happy with this guy. Can't wait to see Undertaker's entrance in the Thunderdome. Joe says, why would Murphy betray Otis? They've been friends for so long. Maybe Murphy is going to use Aaliyah and get all the secrets. Well, all he's got to do is steal her diary, hasn't he? Everyone knows that 19-year-olds have diaries. That's what he's doing, guys. He's just trying to get close to her so he can steal her diary and get all of her innermost thoughts and feelings. And he's going to break into the Mysterio family, get all their secrets. I don't know. I think there's more to it. I don't think he's rejoining Seth. It must be a plan. It must be a trap. It must be mind games. I can't quite tell what the end game is, but I'm pretty sure they'll have an epic entrance for Taker, says Wrestling Days fam. Mark says, so Otis is buried. Same place where Apollo and Chad Gable. Do you think Ray and Dom will accept Murphy tonight? No. He wants to max out her credit cards, says Lister. I think she's doing a good job of that herself, isn't she? I've never seen so much designer clobber. WWE booking theory. Murphy wins a spot with Team Smackdown for Survivor Series. He attacks Seth to set up a match at TLC. Do you think anyone will be wearing Undertaker-inspired gear at Survivor Series? Will you be wearing a gravestone hat? No. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. Who's going to wear it? There's no one there. Hey, I haven't seen any Cornette faces in the crowd. I don't know if there's any pictures doing the rounds on Twitter, but Cornette did say that he would give a free t-shirt to anyone that managed to get a Jim Cornette face shown in the Thunderdome. Do you know Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? The Rock Johnson, was that Rocky Johnson in the Hall of Fame 2010, 2011? Rocky Johnson is in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if it was 2010 or 2011. I wonder if Undertaker will mess with both The Fiend and Randy. Zelina should have won tonight, says Stephen. It's hard for some people to put on a good match without a crowd, says Zachary. Sonny says, I had 12 diaries. If you read them, you'd be confused and also crying. I should imagine, Sonny, every single day of your diary is like, I went to Timmy's. Just every single day. And at least several entries about Timmy's. Right, here's Murphy backstage, walking away. Seth coming after him. Seth's. I know what I saw. He's coming across a bit desperate, isn't he? I know you love me, Murphy. I know you love me. I can feel it, Murphy. Tell me you still care, Murphy. Messiah. Disciple. Say it again. Oh, say it again. Oh, say it again. Potato. He knew it. Messiah. Disciple. The Mysterio family are never going to accept you. Perhaps he tried to get freaky with Aaliyah and she said no. And he's like, forget this. I'm going back to Seth. I mean, what the hell? You help Seth. Murphy says, I know what I'm doing. You need to trust me. Just trust me. This is for the greater good. This is so dramatic. Wow. There we go. He's lying. Kiss him, Seth. Kiss him, Seth. Could you imagine that? If Seth just reached forward and started making out with Murphy. Right, we've got Michael Cole with Lars. Lars is making his boobs wobble around. Yeah. Why is he sitting shirtless? I don't understand. You've got an interview with Michael Cole. Okay, well, I'm taking my top off for that. Here we go, Michael Cole. Woo! Why didn't Michael Cole ask any questions? Lars, why have you got your shirt off? He might be completely naked. He might just be sat there completely naked. Okay, I'm ready for this interview. Why is he going on about the bullies again? Perhaps he's on set of his latest film. Perhaps Lars is filming his latest film, and they just went, "Can we get 5 minutes?" He's like, "Yeah." So he sat down so that he can do this interview. If you're young, ignore that. At 13, he started lifting weights. And he learned how to take care of himself. The bullying stopped. It's good, isn't it? Oh, he became a bully. Ah, oh. He'd bully bullies. And that was fun. So he would bully the bullies. And he learned he could bully whoever he wanted. Bully Michael Cole! I could make them eat whatever I want. What does that mean? Dirt. Glass. Bugs. His tongue is too big for his mouth, says Kyle. Okay. Is this like therapy? I don't know what's happening. He just gave out like a primal scream. He loves it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba! Remember, be a star. Yes. Don't bully guys. Unless you're bullying the bullies. Don't bully unless you're bullying the bullies, and then apparently it's okay. Jey Uso versus Kevin Uso. R.I.P. head. They did turn the sound down, actually. They did drastically drop the sound when he screamed. Why was he naked? Can someone just answer that? Why was he naked? I still don't understand. He's not running. Why is he sitting down, breathing hard? Is Michael Cole Dr. Shelby now? I think so. Perhaps he's always been Dr. Shelby. Screaming is bullying. Apparently so. That's the big thing we just learned. If you scream really loud at someone, that's intimidation. That's bullying. Remember that, guys. Always bully the bullies in equal measure, says Imtiaz. Yes. Who do you want to win, Raw or SmackDown? I don't care. I don't care. I like the... currently, I like the SmackDown women's team. Was he fully naked? I think so, yes. I think so. I know you traditionally lose your last match when you retire, but Corbin retiring angle. Oh. I thought you meant a retiring angle, but you mean retiring Kurt angle. Got you. Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah, you should lose your last match, and Kurt Angle was prepared to do it. I mean, I don't know if you saw the interview he did with Stone Cold. He said, like, no disrespect to Corbin, but that's not who he would have chose. So, yes, Colby. Yes. John says Lars should force someone to eat Skittles because it's best for business. We'll wait for the woman to read it out. It's her only job. How long we got? Oh, 19 minutes. Oh, okay. Do a Lars scream? No.
Colby is a legend. They donated $2 Canadian via a super chat. Lars gonna give Cole Heidenreich flashbacks.
Wrestling Days fan said I turned my TV back on. Liam says, I must say this. His promo and delivery have been better than a lot will give him credit for in the past two promos. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do, though. I mean, I think with that one was a bit better because he's talking about bullying the bullies. So he comes across as a face. Still don't understand why he's topless, to be honest. But bullying the bullies, I think people can get on board with that. But the last one, it was a bit confused as to whether he was a face, if he was a heel. I couldn't quite read where he was pitching himself. So, but yeah, better. It is the best thing he's done. Lars is just bad, says Wrestling Days fan. What's up with Murphy? He's in love. Is Miz and Morrison a good match? That'd be a very good match, yeah. Right, we are going back. We got 18 minutes left of the show. And we got Paul Heyman. He's going to be with Kayla Braxton. So is King Corbin. So is Carmella. So is Seth Rollins. Next time someone bullies me, I'm just going to scream at them. Yes, I think you have to take your shirt off as well. I don't know, but just from that promo, I think that's what you have to do. Right, Jey Uso in the ring, just waiting for Kevin Owens to make his way down. Kevin Owens is backstage. He's got a nice red t-shirt on. Out of hand. Kevin says, when I came here today, I didn't expect to have to fight my partner at Survivor Series. Roman Reigns' little special counsel. Who was the old co-host with Kayla? Well, Renee Young used to do some hosting duty, didn't she? I can't remember what Sarah Schreiber always been on Raw. They've brought some new ones in. I can't remember their names. Kevin says he is his own man. That's more than he can say for Jay. Right, Kevin Owens' music hits and is making his way down to the ring. Do you know how to solve a Rubik's Cube? I know there is a technique, isn't there? I don't know it. Kevin Owens' tattoos are awesome, says Sean. I don't want to see Owens lose clean to Jay. Yeah, it's hard to know how this is going to go. I mean, he did beat Daniel last week. Maybe Jimmy will get involved or something. It's a weird camera shot, isn't it? Liam, shout out to you, my friend. Matt says, Days, I agree. I'm done with this Seth Rollins Messiah thing. It's overstayed its welcome. I agree. I don't even like the story. I mean, like, I haven't really been into. I think it's taken up a lot of TV time, and I think it's just been nonsensical. I mean, it's been we've certainly enjoyed some moments from it. I mean, I think there was a lot of intrigue about Ray having his eye removed. I mean, there was a lot of interest in that, and then like the whole Aaliyah thing has obviously got people talking. So there's been stuff that's come out of it. I don't know if you could say it was good stuff, but definitely stuff. Stuff has happened. The team's not picked yet. We'll have to wait until next week because the men's team isn't picked, nor the women's. Sonny says, how to make bullies not bully you anymore. Run naked at them screaming. That is true, actually. I'm pretty sure if you was to do that, you wouldn't get bullied. You definitely get kicked out of school. Kick out by Uso. So we are sneaking our way towards the final. The final ad break. I miss the old Seth Rollins, says Chibi. I wonder how Vince would book Lars versus Roman since they are his two favourites, says Febin. Alex says, you don't like kissy-wissy storylines? I don't mind them. Roman's grabbed his Universal title. He's still watching the screen. And he's thinking of coming out, maybe. Big splash to the outside by Kevin Owens as we go to the final commercial break. Final commercial break of the show. We've got 13 minutes left. And Eduardo, shout out to you. I wonder, we spoke about that. Who do you want to win? Randy Orton or Roman? Roman. I'm all in on Roman. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn for the IC title. Sami and Kevin Owens tag titles on SmackDown. There's a lot of good ideas you could do with Sami and Kevin. I agree with that, Chowdhury. I agree with that. Those two should be around each other. I don't know that they should compete against each other. We saw a lot of matches between them, but I have to say those matches were so good, and it has been a few years. Kevin Owens shouldn't be wearing red, says Lister Jericho. How are you enjoying the commercials? Do you know what? I've actually got a My Pillow commercial. I think it's only just arriving here in the UK because I've obviously heard a lot about the My Pillow guy. And I remember seeing the My Pillows when I went to America at the end of 2018, but we never had them over here. But there's actually an advert for My Pillow. mypillow.co.uk. So there we go. There's no escaping him. Is it just me or has SmackDown been bad? I don't know if it's been bad. I mean, I think it started really well, and then I don't think there's really been anything to carry that momentum. I think the Ray King Corbin match was long, and dare I say, dull. Didn't really get out of like second gear. This match, I just don't really care about it. I mean, I understand it's part of a bigger storyline, but it doesn't mean that I'm really into this match because, again, it doesn't really matter or mean anything. But again, it's part of a bigger storyline. But yeah, it's not making it the most compelling show in the world, is it? The My Pillow guy is a buddy of Tom, the big radio morning show here in the Twin Cities, says John. Shout out to you, Rachel. That show was greater than great. Days, I'd have Fiend tease Orton till Edge beats him at Mania and then finally start their rivalry. Yeah, I agree. I would do it after. Right, we are going back. We've got 10 minutes. SmackDown needs Nia putting Lana through a table. Okay, Eric. Days, my dad says what time you are going to see UFC. Well, it starts at midnight. Pre-shows start at midnight in the UK, so that would be 7 Eastern. It's coming from Vegas, isn't it? I should imagine they're sitting there keeping everything crossed that there's not going to be an announcement during the show. I should imagine UFC are like, can we please get this announcement out the way? Another little advert for Raw. WWE are probably quite relieved that it's not come during SmackDown, but as I said, I would still imagine that it's going to have an impact or had an impact on the ratings. Right, here we go. The final part, the final segment. Have they got anything tasty in store? Sean says, Days, those My Pillows are horrible, and he has been sued multiple times. Really? That's interesting. Netbreaker. I know that he was connected with Trump, I think, wasn't he? Didn't he campaign with him or donate loads of money or something? But I don't know anything about the pillows. I'm not getting one. Here comes Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman walking down. The wobbly walrus is on his way.
They donated $2 via a super
shout out
chat.
to you.
The new My Pillows are stuffed with Trump's tears.
Ooh. Against the ropes goes Jay. Can't imagine that's comfortable. Unless you've got a waterbed. Nice suicide dive by Jey Uso. Paul Heyman's come down to watch Jay. Rachel, shout out to you. Where is Sami Zayn, Apollo Crews, and Chad Gable? Perhaps they've gone for a meal. Perhaps they're all at Chuck E. Cheese. Days, you should get a My Pillow. I don't know, I've got pillows. And I refer to them as My Pillows. Big kick by Jey Uso. Thank you, Rachel Freeman. Right, Jay. Going for a super kick. Connects with it. Down goes Kevin. Kevin slumps down. Paul Heyman down at ringside watching on. Someone behind. Look at that person behind Paul Heyman on the screen. His face is like... I hope they cut back to it. The way the cat... He was like... He had his phone like this or whatever. And it made his face look really long. I never really look at anyone in the Thunderdome. He's got headlock on. Bamboo pillows race. I heard the long-term plan is to do Lars versus Braun. Nice. Takedown by Kevin Owens. Jay goes for another super kick. Super kick by KO, though. I've got a great long pillow. Super comfortable, but you have to get used to it because it hurts your neck. Into the... Oh, Jey Uso right into the ring post. Gets super kicked down in the corner. Kevin Owens charging over. Cannonball. Paul Heyman's got his head in his hands. Kevin Owens going up top. Oh, comes crashing down onto Jay. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up by Jey Uso. Too close to call. Too close to call. Against the ropes goes Jey Uso. Gets picked up, lands down on his feet. Super kick by Jay. Grabs Kevin. Oh, gets planted down. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Kevin. Shoulder up by Kevin. Ruby's new hair is how it was when she was Heidi Lovelace, says Brian. Good knowledge. I never saw her as Heidi Lovelace. But I know that was her name on the indie scene. In Shimmer as well, I think. Jey Uso climbing up in the corner. Sasha Banks, Asuka at Survivor Series. Big strikes coming in by Jay. Kevin Owens responding with some shots of his own. Jay comes crashing down, rolls through. Pop up, power bomb. Jey Uso covered. He's got his foot on the rope. Paul Heyman's like, foot on the rope, foot on the rope. Kevin Owens stomping away. Oh, here comes the big dog. Big dog's music hits. Low blow by Jay. Roman might not even be coming out. Super kick by Jey Uso. Big splash. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Jey Uso wins. Well, I don't understand, right? I've never really thought about it before. But shouldn't it be a rule that you don't play someone's music during a match? Like, why would the production team do that? Of course it's going to distract. I mean, it's happened many, 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 many times in the past, but I've never really thought about it. And there we go. Roman's music plays again. Is the big dog going to come out now? Yeah, he does. Here he is. Roman coming out. I wish Roman had a commemorative belt. I think that blue thing is ugly. They really, really should give him a belt that represents him, rather than that ugly blue thing. They could do something so cool with a Roman belt. Well, there we go. End of the show. We've managed to get through, and honestly, not a great second hour, if I'm being honest. Not a great second hour at all. Wasn't really much there to get too excited about in that second hour. Don't know. That was an okay episode. Well, get your scores in. What did you think of it? 6 out of 10 says Basti. 10 out of 10 says Greg. 8 says the Nico guy. Aaron V4 says 10. 6.5 says Colby. Liam says, Dave, since there's 2 tag teams in the Raw Tag Team Survivor Series and Ruby qualified. Surely Liv will qualify next week. Maybe. I don't know if they're in a tag team anymore or what. I don't know what the plan is, or if they're separating them, or. But yeah, you'd have to say there's a good chance. 5.5 from Jason. What about Adam Pearce? Well, I think that they just made the match, didn't they? I don't think you needed to see him asking for the match to be made and whatever. They just made the match. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 5.5, 7 says Stunny Wolf, 4.5, 6, 7, 5, 7, 4, 7, 725, 725. Your boy Yoshi Sensei says 7, 6, 7. 5.7, 725, 6.75 says Nkrumah. It was better than the election. Well, you say that, but the election is getting a bit tasty now, isn't it? Surav, shout out to you. Moda gives it 6 police lights out of 10. 7.5, 10, 4, 725, 9.7, 5, 8, 8, 8, 8, 10. Was an alright episode. Yeah, I've got to be honest. I mean, I'm gonna give it a 6, 7, 5. I could be convinced to go to a 7. I just think that second hour really lacked. I would want something. I feel the first hour had Sasha and Bailey, and we were really on for a 7.5 kind of a score, because that match was good, but very good, but I can't say it was great. So I feel like we was around 7.5. I was probably at about a 7.25 at the halftime score. 7.25, and that second hour, there wasn't much there. So it fell. I could be convinced to go to a 7. Maybe a 6.75's a little on the mean side, but it's either that or a 7. That's where I am. That second hour really underwhelmed. I think that's the problem. I think Survivor Series is a bit of a problem. Nothing about Survivor Series matters. Do you know what I mean? None of the title matches matter because titles won't change hands. The Raw Smackdown thing, who cares? There's nothing comes of it. Do you know what I mean? If Smackdown ends up winning the night, so what? Like literally a week later, it's all forgotten anyway. It doesn't mean anything. There's no stipulation that comes with it. I wish there was something that if SmackDown wins, this happens. If Raw wins, this happens. It's just it's a bragging rights thing. But how do they brag? Like they don't see each other. They could brag on Twitter or something. But honestly, who cares? So yeah, I mean, not really feeling it. For me, like the best Survivor Series matches are always the ones that mean something. The Sting arrival, which had the whole authority storyline running at the same time, and like obviously the Invasion Survivor Series one from 2001 as well. It's always when there's something on the line. So yeah, I think like you've got a lot of qualifying matches to get into a Survivor Series team that ultimately isn't going to mean anything anyway. So yeah, it's not my favorite pay-per-view, and like honestly, I think the big appeal is to get some dream matches. Do you know what I mean? You should look at the champions and go, that is going to be awesome. Imagine that match. But there's not a single match that I care for. Like, Orton against Roman is not a dream match. We've seen it, and it's not something that I care, because they're both heels, and I don't care. Asuka against Sasha, we've seen. So that's not a dream match. New Day against Street Profits will be good. I'd be down for that. But is that something that I'm crazy excited for? I can't say I am. I don't think it's going to be any better than, say, New Day Usos that we've seen in the past. And then the rest of it is just the women against the women, the guys against the guys. And as we said, ultimately, what does it matter? So that second hour had, I think, 2 Survivor Series qualifying matches in it. and it didn't really matter. I didn't care who won. Do you know what I mean? Could have been Ray, could have been King Corbin. Didn't matter. It could have been Seth. It could have been Otis. It didn't matter. And that's a problem. And I think that hurts the score. And then you've got a main event, which is, again, it didn't really matter. It was just part of like a storyline. I mean, it was perfectly fine, but I do think this show needed something else. I wish that women's match had gone on last. And I wish that it had been maybe even given more time. Gone on last and given even more time. And then be told, give us Takeover. Give us Takeover Brooklyn again. Give us something that people are going to remember. Because I think it was a really good match, but nowhere near Takeover quality. Hard with commercials. Hard when there's no crowd. But that's the challenge. That's what they needed to try and do. And I think it just fell a little bit short. So for those reasons, that's why it's at a 6.75. But a serviceable show. Not a disaster. And I'm sure people will have got something from it. So yeah, onwards we go. So as we said, we've got UFC tomorrow. We've got All Elite tomorrow as well, Full Gear. And we've got Raw on Monday as well. There will be a watch-along. This is worth mentioning. There will be a watch-along on Sunday. We are actually going to watch an older Survivor Series pay-per-view. I haven't seen which one has won, but there was a poll on Twitter. So, yeah, we are going to see a Survivor Series. I'm hoping it's 2014. I'm hoping it's Sting's debut. But, yeah, there will be a watch-along on Sunday. Maria, shout out to you. Days, check out my edit after. I will do. Rotem said, Lars Braun, I would put money on Volta versus Lee. Yeah, I'd like that. What did we all learn from this show? I learned that kissy-wissy storylines are awesome, says Alex. Screaming is a bullying tactic. And Mr. Cole doesn't have issues with people not wearing shirts in front of him. Oh, you learnt a lot. Zachary says, Days, say potato. Potato. It was 2014. Oh, did that win? Did it? Brilliant. Cora says that's going to be great. It will be. That's one of my favourite ever WWE moments. There is no way that it could have been done any better. The only thing you might have changed would be to have had it in a stadium so even more people could have seen it. Like, it would have been good if it was in one of them baseball grounds or something. But actually the booking, the way that match plays out, and the way that Sting finally arrives in WWE, it's perfect. It is perfect. It's not often that you say that. So, yeah, brilliant. One of my favourite moments. The poll is still going, says Lauren. Oh, well, there we go. If you want to vote, you can go over to the Wrestling Days Twitter, and you'll be able to vote. And as we said, we will be watching that on Sunday. Shout out to you, Rotem. Who the funk is that guy? I have to be careful when I say that. Cuts it a little close, doesn't it? There is no attack, so it sucks. Roman versus Randy, not a dream match. Is this guy drunk? Heel versus heel. Roman Randy, a dream match. We've seen it before, and both of them are heels, and I wouldn't class it as a dream match. Is it a match that people dream of seeing? Like, people dream of seeing Fiend versus Randy. I'd say that's a dream match. People want to see Fiend and Undertaker. I'd say that's a dream match. But Orton against Roman. I can't imagine there's too many people calling for that. And that's honestly your big thing. That's your big two champions going up against each other. I just don't think it's good enough. Maybe if Orton loses the belt to Fiend and then you get Fiend Roman one-on-one, then we can talk. But heel, it's a hard sell, isn't it? It's a hard sell when you do heel versus heel. Although saying that, Roman is super cool, isn't he? So even though he is a heel, I definitely would be cheering for him. Did you like Brian Lesnar 2017? That was heel versus heel. Dude, I can't even remember it. Brian versus Lesnar in 2017. Was that at Survivor Series, was it? I legit can't remember that match. If that was at Survivor Series, and that was the year that Brian faced Lesnar. Yeah, he did, didn't he? Because didn't he take the title from AJ on the go home? Didn't Daniel beat AJ on the go home to become champion, and then we ended up getting Lesnar versus Daniel? I mean, the only thing I would say with that is I didn't mind that as much because it's Lesnar, and like Daniel against Lesnar means something. Like Lesnar is the guy that broke the streak. A lot of people want to know who can beat the Beast. So there's a story that you could argue is bigger than heel versus heel. This is Daniel, who, you know, had the Yes movement, all of our support at WrestleMania 30. This is Daniel taking on Lesnar. Could Daniel find a way of cracking the code? Could Daniel, a smaller guy, be someone that could beat Lesnar? For me, that story was bigger than heel versus heel. So I think I would have been all right with it because there was something that was bigger than that. With this, I don't think there's a story that's bigger than them just being heel versus heel. Like, can Roman beat Randy? Yes, he can. Could Randy beat Roman? Yeah, I'm sure he could. But I don't, unless there's another story connected to it, there's no intrigue in that match for me. There's nothing there for me to care about. But with Lesnar Daniel, because of him being a smaller guy, there was. So I hope that made sense. That made sense to me. That was 2018. Okay. Is Jimmy injured? He was injured, yes. Days, how did that SmackDown get the same score as this week's AEW? Because I think both shows were okay, but I don't think either show really excelled. I think the highlight of tonight's SmackDown was Bayley and Sasha. That was very good. But then I'd have to say everything that came after was skippable. There was nothing tonight that was essential viewing. There was nothing tonight that really caught my eye. I think there was some alright stuff on AEW, like the promos. I think that they had the pack video, which was amazing. That's one of my favorite things I've seen in a long time, was that pack video. I know it was only a couple of minutes long, but it was so impressive. I also thought that the Taz promo from Wednesday was very good. I also thought that we had a lot of fun with the Moxley Kingston. I'm not saying it was perfect, but man, they were fired up. There was some real intensity. It was good to see. So there was definitely some elements from AEW that were strong. Their matches were okay. There was some all right stuff. There was some all right stuff on AEW, but nothing that was crazy. Nothing that was essential, and so it got, the score it got. And I'd argue the same tonight. There was some decent stuff tonight. I would say that the big standout tonight is that Bayley-Sasha match. There's nothing else that can get to that level, though, for me. And as a result, it after that became a very skippable show. So I'd say they were quite comparable. If I had to choose to rewatch a show, I would rewatch this SmackDown. So if you want to sort it within the 6.7, then I'd have this above AEW from Wednesday, but not by much. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the scores. You should make a gaming channel. I'll pass, thanks. Right. Oh, BOD says, whatever brand wins should be able to steal a superstar from the other show. Brilliant. Yes. So whichever brand wins with the women, they can steal a woman. Whatever brand wins with the men, they can steal a guy. Same if they did tag teams as well. Love that idea because it actually matters. The only thing I suppose you could say then is like, why would they care? Why would they want to get someone else added to the roster to make it harder for them? That'd be the only thing I'd say. Why would the wrestlers want that? But I like it. It's at least it gives it some reason. Volta against Lesnar. Yeah. Yeah, you see, that's a really good point because even though that would be heel versus heel, there's something much bigger at play. And that is, you know, where is Volta in his trajectory? Can he, you know, he's a bigger guy, longest reigning NXT UK champion, longest reigning WWE champion at the moment. 500 odd days, just had a killer match against Dragunov. How would he do against the Beast? How would he do against Lesnar? So if it was going to be Survivor Series Lesnar against Volta, I'd be way more excited for that than Orton against Roman. So much more excited. Because, yeah, heel versus heel, but there's something that's bigger than that. Again, the problem I've got with Roman and Orton, heel versus heel, which is a hard sell, and there's nothing to supersede it. There's no bigger story. Unless they can find one and make one as we get closer to the Survivor Series, but good point. What is your favourite match? My favourite match is Shawn against Undertaker. WrestleMania 25. Love that match. I think it's many people's. I don't think there's anything out the blue there. Higher chance of ESPN showing end of ABC's primetime college football. I really can't see anyone beating Volta. I think he will have a San Martino reign. I'd love it. I'd love that. Don't beat him for the sake of beating him. If he ends up having it for the next year, if no one beats him till 2022, fine. You can keep doing those Dragunov match moments. Do you know what I mean? People coming close but not quite doing it. And then when someone finally does, it is such a big deal. Such a big deal. So, yeah, totally fine with that. I'm not saying don't have title matches, but don't change it unless it is the right time and the right person. They are so good with the booking of that belt. That belt has been perfect. I think it was Tyler Bate was the right person to win it at first. Pete Dunne was the right person to then build on that. And now Volta is just... I didn't know if Volta was the right person. But he was. He was. They've done a great, great job. Next week is episode 205 of 205. Right, well, look, we are done, my friends. I need to run off and start doing some research for UFC, which is tomorrow. Of course, it is AEW Full Gear as well, and don't forget, nothing will be branded for that show. Don't expect to jump onto the channel and see a thumbnail and all of that, but we will be keeping it on in the background. So we will keep an eye on it in the background. So awesome. Right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this watch-along of this week's SmackDown. Again, we're back tomorrow for AEW and UFC. We're back on Sunday for the Survivor Series watch-along, retrospective watch-along. We're back on Monday for Raw and Tuesday for the Wrestling Escape Pod Live. So, awesome, my friends. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.